Welcome to episode 5. Oh, episode 5. That's half of 10 of the Cactus Cult Podcast. I'm excited. I can't believe I'm legit. Can't believe we made it episode 5. I'm still doing the exciting, like, we actually made it to this episode thing. But episode 5, like, this is a dream come true. I'm joined, of course, by C-Jols once again. C-Jols, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Thank you.
Oh, damn good to hear. How's that tea going? You finished it?
Nah, man, I'm sipping my young hot green tea.
Ooh, hot green tea. Delicious.
It's going really well, yeah.
Oh, sounds like we're going to have a good podcast ahead of us. Ando, how you fucking doing? Howdy. That's Ando. And we are your hosts for the evening. Hopefully you join us through. We're going to be a little bit more on point today. The last episode went for 3 hours. Hey, big ups to anyone that actually made it through the entire 3 hour. It's called a fiasco. It was pretty. I don't even know. I can't remember what we talked about. An hour of it. Oh mate, you're brave.
So you didn't even make it all the way through. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't even listen back to it. It was too long. Did you listen to it, C-Jols?
Nah, I mean, I was saving it for later. You know? Like,
how's it going? Yikers. Well, Ando wins this week. Listening to an hour of it. Jesus.
Well, wait till next week and I'll tell you I've listened to the whole 3 hours and 3 minutes.
Oh god damn. Don't bother, because this one's going to be a lot better. What we're going to do now is we're going to keep it a lot more tight. Because I think 3 hours. We did say last week that would be the last long one. So this one should only be about an hour and a half. That's the plan. And moving forward as well. So it'll be a lot more, dare I say, bite-sized in comparison to what we used to do for the last 4 episodes. A bit more bite-sized for you guys. So hopefully it won't be too. I feel like a long podcast, like overly long. 3 hours, I think, is a turn off. But I think an hour and a half is a sweet spot. Let us know in the
it's like
comments,
a Lord of the Rings movie, you know? Like,
it is, yeah, it is.
You just put it on, you know, halfway through you go up and like make some food. It's still happening.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a nap here or there. You wake up and it's still going, and you're like, you just pick up where you left off type of thing. And,
I don't think I've ever made it through a Lord of the Rings movie. I don't even know if I have. I haven't even watched the third one. Yeah.
Wait, you're not serious?
Yeah, they're too long. I didn't even watch the third one, the Twin Towers, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Dude, that's like that's canon. That's like modern culture canon, man. I feel like everyone needs to, at some point in their life, watch the entire.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I probably triggered a few people already listening. I can hear people tuning out as I say this, but yeah, maybe I'll have to go back and watch them. But that's like so much Lord of the Rings. Look, real talk, I think I have seen the first and second one all the way through, but I've definitely seen the first one a few times, but I don't know if I make it through most of the time. It's like Transformers. Can't make it through those movies. Can't do it. Just long
really
movies.
Can't make it through Transformers movies.
Nah. Once the robots start fighting, this looks like metal flying everywhere, and I don't know, man. Can't do it, bro. It just looks like big clunks of metal just smashing around on screen. It just looks like a mess to me, so I can't do it. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Did you go through The Hobbit though? Did you get through the entire Hobbit?
Nah, I have not watched any of The Hobbit. I've watched the start of the first one.
Great,
didn't make it through the first one, man. Look, maybe that can be my homework. I can start trying to nut through those. You know what I want to do? I haven't even watched the most recent Star Wars movies. I haven't even seen episode 6, I don't think. So, and beyond.
I can't remember when did that come out? When did episode 6 come out?
Oh, not episode 6. Technically episode 3. Because it was weird. Can I just say, I always, there's probably a reason I could probably look it up very easily, but I've always wondered how they managed to start. What series of anything has ever started with episode 4 ever? Like, that shit blows my mind.
Well, I think they made episode 4 before they knew they were going to do prequels, right?
But at the same time, then why wasn't it episode 1?
It wasn't it? I thought it was episode 1 when it initially came out.
I don't believe so. No, I think it was always. No, it was. Yeah, it was definitely always. Look, unless I'm complete, I swear I had.
Well, I wasn't alive when it came out. So
really,
were you alive when it came out?
That's a great question. When did it come out? Do we know?
I don't think you would have even been alive.
Yeah, because look, I remember I had the VHS. I got one Christmas VHS collection of Star Wars. No, I probably wouldn't have been alive. Oh God, let's look it up. Let's do it quickly. Let's just go star. Ooh,
no. Oh wait. Yeah, you definitely went 1977, bro.
Oh, 10 years before I was born. Okay, 10 years. I feel you. Okay, yeah. So I don't know, but that's the thing, but it was episode 4. It's like they somehow, and then years later, wasn't it like early 2000s that episode 1 came out? So it's so weird. Anyway, somehow we're digressing already, but that shit always blew my mind. But anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna try and steer away from like overly tangenting on podcasts from now on. Like still tangenting. But like, see what I just did there? Just reined it on
just
back in,
being aware of our tangent.
Just reined it back in. That's how we do it. See, we're going to be more, more aware.
Good reining.
But yeah, so anyway, hopefully you guys have had a good week. I guess we'll start off with talking about what we've been playing. Look, most weeks, like we've said, it's going to be pretty much the same shit. So we're going to blast through, but we do have a new segment. What the fuck? We're going to be not doing the questions every week, but we've got a new one. So, well, I'll tell you what it is. It's going to be, talking about the new releases every week, whether we played them or not. Talking about some of the new hype releases, game releases, I should say, every week that's coming out or during the week of the podcast. So we'll talk about them. We'll discuss if we're interested or, what we think about them. If we think they're going to do well. Maybe if we think they're even going to be good for Twitch streaming, how we think they're going to go in that kind of realm. We'll talk briefly on each game that's releasing each week. Some weeks will obviously be more games than others. But I think that'll be kind of a more current thing to talk about and something a bit fun. Because I do like talking about new release games. That kind of gets me going. Ooh, it gets me kind of, you know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. But let's... does it, Matt?
That it gets me. Gets my goat as well.
Oh, hooray. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one because I was feeling a bit weird for a minute then. But, Joels, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a couple things.
No, you haven't. You played more than one thing. Bullshit.
Yeah. A couple being 2. Not more than 2, but just 2. And
good. I like it.
Yeah, I hate to say, in the face of, a very, diversity encouraging culture, I didn't really mix it up from last week. And I've actually been playing a bit of League.
Oh,
bit of League of Legends.
Still playing League. Okay.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it was, but last week when I said I was dabbling, yeah, it was fun. I found it fun again. And it's been like a year or like maybe even 2 years since I did play League of Legends, kind of like
for real. So it's a
regularly.
It's a pretty addicting game, hey?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like it's one of those games where like once you get over the initial like hump of kind of like getting back into knowing what's happening, what things have come out since you've been gone, and because there's like seasons. I guess that's kind of like Fortnite. There's seasons. And they'll tweak stuff, and there'll be different metas,
and they'll just freshen it up. Yeah, I feel you there. I think that's very paramount for any online competitive game to really always keep freshening the formula and adding new things to it and keeping it interesting. Because people would get bored. I think that's how some games do end up just crashing and burning. They just die out because the developers aren't almost willing to add that new shit.
To take a little risk.
Yeah, and that's the same with things like Blackout, compared to Blackout obviously being Call of Duty's Battle Royale mode. Obviously with Fortnite, they're updating that shit like every week, and it's kind of still technically in beta and whatnot, blah, 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 but it keeps it fresh, and they're keeping it very fresh by adding new weapons, new skins, changing the map constantly, having like seasonal story arc things. But then you look at things like Call of Duty, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, what have you... I'm not really playing it, so I can't really say, but even when it came down to PUBG, it's like, what are you doing to keep it interesting? Like, what are you changing constantly to keep the game fresh? And they added like a desert map to that game, I think. And it was
talking
cool,
about PUBG?
Yeah, they added like a desert map, and it just was like dirt. So yeah, I think it's important. I mean, and there you go. You look at things like League and Fortnite, and you go, well, look how well they're doing. It's like, keep your games. If it's an online game,
well, it's crazy because they've been like basically in the top 3 played and viewed games on Twitch for like years, for like 4 or 5, basically since. I feel like since I started watching Twitch, League of Legends has always been up there. It's pretty much one of the most
constant games. Like I think it is. It's like, and even Dota, I feel like I still see floating around there. But League of Legends always just somewhere around the top, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, right now, if you're curious, and for like the guys listening, it's second only to Hearthstone, which I don't see Hearthstone often in first.
What the heck? What is
the Hearthstone's at
doing
96?
Yeah, some guy there with 25,000. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, you really don't see Hearthstone still blowing up the way it is. But yeah, there you go. 80,000 for League of Legends, beating out Fortnite. It blows my mind because you don't really hear that many people talking about League of Legends in this day and age. But at the same, like you hear Fortnite talked about every day, yet League of Legends right now beating it. And you know what? It's almost like League of Legends has become almost a part of the gaming furniture in this way. I don't even notice it up there because it's like an expectation that it's just there. Like, I don't even think, like, it's not like when you usually see League of Legends number one, you go, oh, League of Legends is number one. You just kind of look past it. I know
League of Legends is what made esports like really what it is into today. Like, it was one of the first games that really kind of pioneered the whole like esports formula.
Yeah.
And filling auditoriums and arenas and like stadiums full of like live spectators and like crazy. CSGO and Dota were like kind of up there with it as well. But
yeah, absolutely.
League had viewerships that like doubled any of the other games.
What is it though? Because I've never played League and I feel like I either dodged a bullet or missed out on the hype. But
maybe a bit of both.
Yeah, because I feel like I would have probably gotten heavily addicted. Let's be real. But like, what is it about it? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But as someone that you know, as yourself, who's just gone back into it and seemed to be enjoying it, like, what is like the hype at all with it? I've watched a little bit. I don't really usually know what's overly going on, but it just doesn't seem to interest. Like, I reckon it just looks kind of.
Have you
you know,
you've like played Dota or watched?
No,
Dota
I've never played a MOBA. Like I think you said maybe last week. The most I've played is that one with all the gods. What's it called? Smite. Which is obviously a little bit different. Yeah, a little bit different. And I didn't like that, but yeah, I don't know. Even just the look of League, I'm just not interested. And I just kind of think, Jesus, how are so many people so obsessed with this game? Must be a lot of fun when you get into it.
I think you do need to play it and do need to know what's going on to an extent to enjoy watching it as well.
I mean, I think that's where, like, I think honestly that's where Battle Royale succeeded massively, because they're one of the only online competitive games that you can at a glance see and know what's pretty much going on. Like, it's very hard for people to
It's very intuitive,
Yeah, like you see how on screen at any given time how many kills someone's got, how many people are left. You just get an idea, and and they're very quick rounds. You get the feel of the story of what's going on between the character and the world around him and or her. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's things like League and even Hearthstone, all these card games. It's very hard to give a shit when you haven't played it yourself. And it's like, I wonder, I mean, there's not a lot of games that can do what Battle Royales have done, because I think with League, I think if I played it, then I might be more inclined to watch more of it, but I don't get the hype. But that's just coming from me, who I think it must be one of those things that definitely.
I'm sure a few people would love to see you try League. I think that's been brought up before as well.
I don't know. I can't imagine, in my mind, it would be interesting to watch as well. When I've seen clips of people just going ape shit over like things happening.
Wait, you mean like ape shit as in like crazy?
Yeah, like there's crowds and stuff going, oh my god, no, I'm not talking about like Tyler 1 and all that.
That's what you were referring to.
No, I'm talking about people like getting hyped and going, oh my god, he's taking the tower, oh my god, and like, you know, or it just looks like some little character on screen just like clicking around and he's just floating up to it. I'm like, what is this shit? Like, what am I watching? Why is everyone like, it just doesn't seem to have the action like in your face, but people seem to go ham.
It is pretty hard to watch, I'll be honest. When I was at my peak level of involvement, like playing it every day and taking it like semi seriously, I guess, like playing like ranked games, competitive. Watching it is like it's a very different experience to watching it when you don't play it. And like everything, you like understand what's going on, and there's so many like mini how would I say it, like proxy plays. Like they're not direct plays, but they it's like players being smart and using things to their advantage and thinking it. It's honestly kind of like 3D chess. I think someone described it like 3D chess, and it is somewhat accurate. Like a lot of like brain power goes into, as well as like somewhat mechanics and being.
And you know what? And I can totally get as well from a viewer standpoint of the whole 3D chess thing, because watching a game of chess, if you don't know what's going on, is completely boring. But if you know exactly what's going on, then it'd be a little bit more like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the significance of every move kind of means a lot more.
So it's one of those things. And that's why Twitch can be such a hard minefield to traverse, because I mean, certain games are only going to appeal to people that watch them. So it's very hard to, you know what I mean? Like, and that's like me. If I saw someone playing League of Legends, I just would avoid it because I'd be like, I don't know what's going on in there. It takes a lot of concentration and whatnot. So yeah, but there you go. Okay, so one game down. What else have you been playing, dude?
Yeah, I've been playing League. It's been fun. Musty, let's have a game sometime.
Hey, let's up a shout out. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, that would be actually. I would watch that. I think that'd be really funny if you dipped your toes into League and had someone like Musty, who's a bit of a League veteran.
Yeah, just carry me
take you through the ropes.
Maybe. Maybe I'll try it at some point, but you know how my promises go. But we'll see. It could be kind of funny. I'm just scared I'm scared I'll get a bit addicted, but we'll see. Can I guess what else you've been playing?
Yes, you can.
You've probably been playing some Pokemon Let's Go. I'm going to guess you bought yourself a Switch.
Close.
I was
playing Hello Kitty 5.
This week I thought I'd get it. This week I thought I'd actually nail it. What have you been playing?
Dude, I'd love to play Pokemon. If I kind of wish I had a Switch, but at the same time, it was like a Switch is a big money investment.
It is. I was lucky to buy mine ages ago. I think in this in my current financial state, I probably wouldn't be picking one up, but I'm glad I got one a while back. And there's some great games coming out. There's some really good games coming out, which we'll discuss even one of those games later in the podcast.
And the whole like friend code thing kind of like looks fun, like being able to jump into a Mario Kart game with like whoever, just wherever they are.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it's
appealing.
I think, although it's funny you mentioned the friend code thing, because I think a lot of people back in the day were very shitted off by the friend code system and how terrible it was. Nintendo's never really done online very well. I feel like I don't know, Nintendo's always kind of I think, did I talk about this last week on the podcast or was this on stream when I was talking about how Mario Party is a big fuck up in my mind because they decided not to have the main Mario Party part of the game online. All they have is the mini games to play online with your friends. You can't play across the internet the actual game. Nintendo, which is
like, it's such a tease. Like you've got it's like so close.
It hurts
but so
my
far.
soul. It hurts my soul. They've got a bit of work to do, Nintendo, with their online stuff. But yeah, I figured, dude, hey, if you ever get a Switch, I think we'll delve in a little bit, play some shit, because I'd be down for some Mario Kart, against my boy. But But so anyway, what have you been playing? Let's rein it in. What have you been playing? Let's be.
Been playing some Black Desert.
What a shocker!
Very exciting.
What? No, you haven't. Don't lie to us. What have you really been playing? Black Desert game.
Yeah, no, dude. It's a very exciting time right now. There's a new class being released.
Okay, is this the Hunter?
Archer. Or
Archer.
I mean,
Archer, that's the one.
If you historically have played World of Warcraft, then you'd probably think of it as a hunter.
Same kind of shit. Okay, I remember you telling me there was something coming out.
Same thing. It doesn't have a pet or anything, but it's what a lot of people in video have been asking for a long time, which is kind of like a true ranged class.
Right.
Because I remember when I first picked BDO up, looking through classes, there is something called a ranger, and it's like a female archer, I guess you could call it, sort of class. But more than half of her combat is melee. Like that's just kind of like the dumbest thing. Yeah. So many people were like, "Why would you have this class?" It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like Nintendo missing the mark, like so close but so far. Like just if you're gonna have a ranger, just go all out. Anyway, so this is what a lot of people have been hanging out for. and it's come a lot sooner than everyone sort of expected.
Oh,
it
really?
actually releases, I think, next week.
Ooh.
And yeah, a lot of
7
people
days.
thought. Sorry, what'd you say, Ando?
7 days.
Yeah, 7 days.
Sorry, it's just hard to get
7
used
days
through that
from
box sometimes.
Yeah, and that cardboard is just like muffling
Is this-
your
did you double
audio.
box it today, or like what's going on? You
Yeah.
reinforce the walls, or what the fuck? Sorry, we didn't talk about hashtag get Ando on your mic yet today, so I feel like we had to bring that up at some point. But
One
yeah,
day we'll get there.
One day we'll get him out of that box. Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. So it's kind of like it didn't come with the expansion, but I think a lot of people that play the North American server are very pleasantly surprised because so many people were saying, "Oh, we're not going to get it till April." That's just kind of like
really?
the way the timeline usually goes.
Okay. They
So
put it
yeah,
way forward. Well, that's exciting.
it is exciting. I honestly think
Chrissy
I might
present from
make
Black
it
Desert.
my main
Yeah.
class.
Hey, why not? Give it a whirl. Let us know what you think. Ooh,
Well,
exciting times, man.
so yeah,
That's the
that's
only.
been it.
That's pretty much the update. That's your Black Desert update for the week, guys.
There you go.
Look
You
forward to
get your
next
Black
week.
Desert news.
Yeah, Black Desert news. I'm sure we'll have some more next week. There's always some Black Desert news, I'm sure. But there you go, Ando. What have you been playing?
Yes. All right.
Sweet.
Well, Starlers,
I'm very excited. Yeah.
Fortnite, you know.
Okay. Yeah, of
Gotta get
course.
that
Bit
out
of
of the way.
Fortnite. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah,
I should
been
talk
getting
to
some.
someone. Yeah, how you getting a couple of dubs apparently.
Yeah, I got 3 in a row 2 days ago.
Oof. Jesus.
3 in a row.
That's okay.
Calm down,
okay.
Ninja.
Yeah. Oh, you stole my joke. I was gonna say settle down,
Oh, were you
Ninja.
about to say that?
Yeah, I was about to be like, whoa, settle down, Ninja.
Oh, we can rewind that, and then now you. Can
Okay,
say
yeah,
it.
no, I'll say it and I'll cut you out saying it will be my joke. Yeah, 100%. Imagine if I started doing that. Anything I thought that you guys said was funny or insightful, I cut it out and I re-record myself saying it and then
Yeah.
cut it in.
And we're listening back to it. And
And
you're
you're
like, I swear
I
that was
said
my
that.
joke.
Imagine. So congrats, Ando, been getting a couple of dubs. Very nice.
Yeah.
Apparently you've been playing something else though. I don't know. You've kept it a bit of a secret from me.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe you played it just so you had something to say.
No, I mean,
different
I used to play this game all the time. and I
Really?
just
Okay.
starting again last week because a friend is playing it, so I thought, you know what, I'll play it as well. And then I started watching YouTube vids on it, and I was just like, shit, I'm really craving this game now. So.
Okay, Minecraft.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, bro, I wish. I love Dance Dance. If I
I
could
would
play
love
some
to see
dance.
Ando on the dance dance.
Why would you say
It's-
Minecraft? I can't believe you just straight up guessed it. Like,
Really? Is it right?
yeah, it's Minecraft.
Minecraft boy.
Ah! So we'll be looking for a
Ando.
replacement for Ando next week. Please send applications to Ando's replacement at lockbag.box. Holy shit, you've been playing some Minecraft.
Dude, I used to think
Yeah.
you were beyond saving, and now I know you are beyond saving, Ando.
See, Jules,
What do you mean?
C-Joss, what do you think about the fact that Ando has I can just hear he's clicking and clacking, and now I feel dirty because I know what it's being used for.
He's
What do you
still playing. He must be playing
Yeah.
Minecraft right now. He's clicking
He
and
is.
clacking.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. He's
yeah.
playing right now. How do you feel about the fact that he's left Black Desert for good to start pursuing his Minecraft career? How do you feel
I
about
actually
that?
feel. I mean, I honestly feel fine. I think
Yeah.
it's
It's almost like
I tell
yeah.
anyone this that because I think it's any game, right?
Mhm.
Any game you get burnt out if you've been playing it for 6 months, unless
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
I mean, yeah, like you burned on Fortnite. I kind of
Mhm.
burned out on Rust when I was playing like a lot of Rust back then.
Yep.
I feel like the best thing to do is to take a break. I don't
Mm.
advocate to keep playing a game that you feel like you're enjoying
Yeah.
less and less because I think
No,
that
I
just
agree.
builds resentment and you're like, oh, I can't stand this.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people in the Black Desert community say like, there's like so many memes about, oh, okay. People say like they quit video. Oh, you quit video? Okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks. 'Cause it's just so common, man. Like once you've had the itch and like had the urge, and you know what it feels like to like,
you end up missing
get
it a bit.
gains, to grind, to like hit
Mm.
enhancements and shit. It's like it's an endorphin rush that I don't think people can find like elsewhere. But it's almost, in a way, it's like kind of unique. Like Rust, you know, how I was saying, I think, I'm not sure if it was on a podcast or where we were, but I was saying Rust has this unique feeling that you get when you're like making big plays on Rust. Like the adrenaline isn't like any other adrenaline rush that you can get in any other game, in my experience at least. And I think there's something unique to Black Desert as well. Like it's you know how you get like a little high when, not like actual high, but you get a high.
Like you trip on acid or something.
Cross things off like a list. You know how people say like accomplishing things and like crossing things off lists gives you like a little it gives you like a buzz or some kind of rush.
100%.
I think Black Desert has that. And
okay,
but, I mean,
on that.
If you're starting to burn, then that means you just got to try something else until you find your itch again.
And that's the thing as well. Like, I mean, Twitch has pretty much advocated a whole website of essentially don't change the game that you're playing, or you'll lose your audience, or you'll undo everything that you've done. And I see that so often, and people unfortunately seem to feel like on Twitch they have to keep playing the same game or they'll lose what they've built. And it's not good. I mean, it does. I mean, you could end up hating that game, like you said, resentment. I mean, because you play it for longer than you kind of would care for, and you end up hating it. It's a shame, you know what I mean? It's a shame that it's kind of gone that way. I feel like there's a lot in Black Desert to keep you busy though, and I feel like it's one of those things. Yeah, I think taking a break from something like that and coming back, I can imagine that world would always be waiting for you. So
I just regret blowing up my gear in video, to be honest, before taking my break.
I advocated against it, my dude.
Wait, where did you blew up your gear?
Yeah, which just means enhancing and it failing.
Oh,
he YOLO'd. He did something very, very silly, in other words. And I was like, don't do it. You're going to regret it. And he's like, I need, because, you know, I don't know why. Ando, could you not, was it too hard to leave for like a couple weeks without doing that? Like, would you have been too tempted to come back if you didn't blow up more gear?
I mean, I only blew up one thing really, so.
Okay, so it was a bit of a like trying to wean yourself off it in a way.
Yeah, it's like it was more like if this here succeeds, then you know I'm not going to stop playing. But if it fails, I'm going to take a break because.
Oh yikes! Wow.
Because it's annoying to continuously fail. So now, one of my gear is sitting out pry, which without 0 durability. So, or 1 durability, I should say.
Feels bad. Black Desert talk. Well, that's a damn shame.
I don't think Matty knows what you mean. But
it got straight back to Black Desert somehow. And how's Minecraft treating you? Nice and quick. I'm sure most people have played Minecraft. I haven't. What was the pull to get you back into it?
Syndicate. I'm not sure if you know him.
Nah, don't. Nah.
He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel called Pro Syndicate.
Big deal.
Pro Syndicate used to just be Minecraft, but then he started doing other games, and then he went back to Minecraft this year with a new series. I started watching it, and I was just like, "Damn, okay." And then my mate.
I thought, bro, no joke. I thought you meant like you're playing with him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Oh, yikes.
I was watching it.
This fucking
guy.
Ando's
playing with Syndicate, bro. Have you ever heard of this guy?
He's only 10 million subs deep on YouTube. Wait, didn't he do... Wait, I know Syndicate. He didn't play... What was he playing before this? Like...
COD.
Yeah. And he's gone...
But he started with Minecraft.
And he's gone back to Minecraft?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay.
Because he said that he was, you know, what I was saying before, like he had that itch to play, so he played it. And then I was watching his new series called Adrift, and I was just like, shit, I want to play Minecraft now.
Much wow.
So, yeah.
Well,
start playing it.
Still a market for it. He does not seem like the, I don't know if this is like a shit thing to say, but he just doesn't seem like, probably because I know him as more of a Call of Duty guy, just doesn't seem like the type of guy to play Minecraft. But there you go. I guess it's
What is the type of guy that plays Minecraft, man?
Apparently there is none. Apparently there is. Yeah. It's just
Nate Shot's played Minecraft before as well.
Oh,
Optic big timer. Nate Shot.
So it's a Call of Duty thing, is it? To play Minecraft. Oh, that's a bit of fun. Oh well, there you go.
But
Anyone that plays
there is another
Minecraft.
game as well.
There's another game. Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Right.
I only just started playing it today
I
because
thought that was
my
only
brother's
2.
playing it.
Okay, I thought you only had 2 for the week. I thought you said, but there you go. Surprise third game. What have you been playing, Ando?
Magic the Gathering.
Really? Wait, online
Yeah.
or IRL with cards?
Online.
Can I just
I
say?
downloaded the game.
Can I
It's in beta at
say?
the moment.
Yeah, I think Draws has been playing. Shout out to Draws. I think he's been playing a whole heap of that. It looks good. I think there's a real. I think it's a great time to be alive because I think setting up card games using IRL cards. There's so many disadvantages to playing with real cards. I mean, there's the whole having to set up and shuffle them and actually physically. But I mean, people probably love that aspect of them. They probably, a lot of people probably love the more physical touching kind of part of it. But I think as well, just like knowing you're fucking up some of your rare cards, potentially playing. I know a lot of people use like sleeves and stuff. But just having a game that runs you through how to play it, teaches you how to play. There's no cards that you can essentially fuck up. You can get rare ones without spending crazy amounts of money. You know what I mean? The game kind of keeps score and everything. It's the same with Hearthstone. It's just a much more straightforward way to play. You can play with people all around the world. I actually am kind of keen to give it a try myself. Is it free to play?
Yes. You just type in MTGA on Google to get the beta.
Okay. And oh wait, so beta, okay. Is there
Wait, is this not the Magic the Gathering that's been out for like a year and a bit? Like people play it on Twitch, right?
Yeah,
or is this
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they play on Twitch, but it just says
Yeah,
it's beta when you go to the website.
I think that's what Draws has been playing recently. I could be Draws are in the comments below. Feel free to let us know because I know he plays a shit ton of it. His streams almost, from what I can gather, become quite exclusive on Magic the Gathering online. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, have you noticed are there any like microtransactions in it? Are they asking for any? Surely there is at this point.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, for a free
spend
game.
money to buy cards, obviously.
Digital cards, it's such a thing, isn't it? Like, now, can I just quickly say, this makes me think of, we gonna say something about Artifact later in the stream, C-Jols?
We can talk about it now. Like, I'm not.
Okay, well, no, we'll save that. I just want to say the whole thing about Artifact. That's kind of, if anyone doesn't know, Artifact is a new trading card game, I guess, on Steam. It's actually made by Valve.
Yeah.
Who owns Steam. So they brought out their own card game. From what I can gather, it's got a heap of different Valve game references and characters. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's based off Dota. Well, let's just talk about it now, I guess.
You reckon?
A lot of it's based off Dota 2. In the same way that like Hearthstone is based off, World of Warcraft characters.
Yeah.
And like the original Warcraft characters. And it plays like super interesting, different to, I guess, most, like trading card games where there's like 3 lanes. So it is kind of like you're playing a MOBA with like your traditional 3 lanes, but it's I was watching actually, a friend of the stream, Sadeki, was streaming a little bit a while ago. So that's the first time that I actually saw it. I think he started streaming it the day maybe it came out, or maybe the day beta was released. I can't remember, but
okay. So to clarify, it is in beta, obviously, still.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, super interesting. It's like $20. I don't know if there's any more like microtransactions
that's
after
the thing.
that.
I think in Australian dollars it's $30.
Oh yeah, sorry. So 20 US, I should have said.
28. Yeah, and $28 Australian. Now the thing I was gonna mention as well, it's currently got 10,581 reviews on Steam. Mixed reviews apparently. Reviews are mixed.
Really?
Yeah, it's not getting 100%. The Metacritic score is 77, so that's not too bad. But I think a lot of red thumbs down downs in the things. I haven't really read too many people. Oh yeah, that's right. I did read. People are saying it's a lot of it is pay to play, pay to win. Now I haven't played any of it. I actually haven't watched any. I actually tried to watch some before the podcast. On CD and the Third's stream, but he just sat there on one of the bloody menu screens and didn't play any because he was too busy having a good chat, which is totally fine because you know your boy is all about that. But yeah, I didn't see any gameplay of it, but I was keen to jump in because I do love a good card game. I love jumping on a bandwagon.
Yeah,
as well.
I thought you might be interested. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the $28 price tag and then reading that people are saying pay to win, or pay to play, I don't know. I want to know more about it. I can't talk too much on it because I don't know. It does remind me of a game called Faria, a card game that came out probably like a year and a half ago. No, probably like 2 years ago, called Faria. Really unique card game. I can't remember who made it. But it basically was you got cards and then you actually play minions on like a board, using the cards, and it was a really interesting concept.
Right.
So much potential. I loved it. I got way amongst it. It actually was the thing that took me away from Hearthstone for a while. A few big Hearthstone players on Twitch were actually also playing it. They shot themselves. The people that made Feria shot themselves in the foot. Big fucking time. They did the cardinal sin, the biggest, stupidest thing you could do in a card game. They offered every single card in the game for a single price point. You could buy every card in the game for one buy it now price. All the legendaries, everything.
They got greedy, yeah.
It was like $100. I think the game was probably like $30, I seem to remember. But then you could buy all the cards. You could either grind for it, which was a mish, or you could buy all the cards for like $100. I bought all the cards. The reason I did it was because if you wanted to beat, like pretty much if you wanted to have a chance at winning that game, because you would come up against people that had decks just packed full of legendaries. So if you wanted a chance of actually being strategic and being able to match them, you had to pay the price point essentially to play and to win. And it's like, if Artifact is doing what these people are saying and making it somewhat of a pay to play, pay to win, which I don't know, people might be complaining. Some people sometimes go overboard. I haven't tried it yet, but I mean, mixed reviews make me think possibly that is the case. Why don't these companies ever learn? Like, why Feria practically doesn't exist. Have you guys ever heard of it, Feria?
No, I hadn't heard of it until you
exactly. And it was giving. Look, I don't think it was ever going to give Hearthstone a run for its money, but it had potential to be up there. It had, like I said, all these big Hearthstone players were playing it on Twitch. They were moving over and playing. I'm trying to think. Crip, you know Crip.
Yeah, I know Crip.
Yeah, he does all the arena runs for. Yeah, and he moved over and was playing a shit ton of Feria. So he'd get thousands of people watching, of course. And yeah, they unfortunately that company just made the biggest fuck up and they couldn't recover from it. Which is such a shame. Part of the fun of these games is grinding for those cards and opening packs and being excited about, oh, we got this card. But as soon as some rich kid can come along and just buy the whole thing, it just one person doing that ruins the game.
And did you say you bought the whole set?
I did. Yeah, I loved the game that much. I enjoyed playing it that much, but I was starting to get my ass handed to me by legendary decks. I just thought,
fuck this, man. I'm gonna get a legendary deck.
Yeah, I just went, fuck it. If I can buy the cards, that's the only way I'm going to be able to compete with it. And at that point, I thought, well, I just love the strategic element. I love the way this game plays. It was so much fun. Actually,
why'd you put it down then initially?
I just felt like people stopped playing it because I just felt like you're either creaming people or people. I don't know. I think it just was dying off. That's a good question why I fell off it, but I think, you know what? The satisfaction wasn't there. I think there was no reward after that. What was I grinding for? There was no packs to open because I had every card. I think it just got stale. I think part of the keeping people involved in these card games is giving them that reward of opening card packs for their hard work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think sense of progression is really
it's
important
massive
in any game.
And they shot themselves in the foot. And I think even make your game I don't know why. Obviously, there's reasons, but to make a card game $30 straight off the bat, just to start playing, it's like, you see how well Hearthstone did. Why is there an entry, like an admission price, if you're essentially got transactions in the game that you know people are probably going to pay for anyway? We've seen how well the free to play format works. I just don't get why people still don't do it. And that mixed review wouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean?
Because I mean, people out there would even argue like Hearthstone in a way is pay to win because you can
buy boosters,
IRL money for packs.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't pay IRL money for straight up guaranteed cards that you want.
You can't say, well, I'm guaranteed to get this legendary if I pay this price point 100%. But yeah, I think this week I'll be I don't know if I want to pay $30 to delve into Artifact, but I'm very curious. I feel like I do need a good new card game to delve into. We've kind of railroaded Ando's like Magic the Gathering, talked about Artifacts, but I don't know. I just thought that was just the price, the entry of admission for it, $30, and then hearing people are saying that it's got to pay to play and pay to win, kind of. It doesn't sound good, but it does look like a lot of fun. But yeah, I think
because it is being made by Valve, they've got enough money to kind of like keep tweaking and keep working on the game, even if it's tanking until it becomes good, if that makes sense. Because games can like turn it around eventually.
But then why do you think Valve, having all the money in the world, why the hell did they charge $30? Is it? I know that's a lot if so many people get it, but it seems crazy, right? That they would charge $30 when they know they could have this game out in the wild, everyone could play it. There's, and they know that people get obsessed. It almost, to me, I'm hearing people loving the game, but whenever a game like that has a price of admission when it's clearly could be very easily free to play, it almost makes me wonder if they lack confidence in their game. Only because I feel like if you were confident in your game being something that could be addictive in a way, and that people are going to froth on and they're going to want to really start putting in money to buy cards and get the edge or open more packs, like what is the are you lacking confidence in how well it's going to go down the track? Do you think it's going to be a short term kind of enjoyable game, and that's why you need the money up front? Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It kind of, it rings alarm bells. Does it mean that you don't want to, like, you potentially aren't going all in with this game because you know what I mean? It's this, I don't know.
Not like, because, I mean, it's $30 for us, but it would have been $19.95 if it was on, like, the old Steam.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. That's, like, one of the lower price points in a Steam, in a Steam catalog. Especially for like a brand new game.
Yeah,
but
it's just, I guess, yeah.
I know what you mean. Are you saying then you prefer like a microtransaction game? Do you prefer free to jump in, free to play, like get your feet wet? But
I think if you play a game enough, you potentially. The thing is, we've seen it with Fortnite, we've seen it with and we've seen it with Hearthstone. Those two games especially, those were the two games that I probably played the most out of any game I've ever played. They were both free-to-play games.
And League of Legends is like that as well.
Yeah, but for me, especially, I know that I spent more on those games than I would if it was just if I felt like I'd purchased the game. I don't think I've ever paid for any sort of microtransaction in any game if I've paid to play it. But if it's a free-to-play and I get enough, I don't put money into a microtransaction straight away. It's once I feel like I've gotten enough entertainment out of it that I go, you know what? I put enough time in this game. I think I'm going to support it and get a treat out of it at the same time, like a cool skin or a couple of, say like Hearthstone. Every now and then when a new set of cards come out, I'd maybe drop like money on like 50 packs, which would be maybe like $100. I can't remember how much it was, but it's a lot. But hey, $100. Considering maybe I've never spent money on that game ever, and I've played more than some of the $100 games I bought down the track, you know what I mean? I kind of go, well, hey, I've put in like a couple of 100 hours into this game. I've bought games like $90 from EB Games or whatever, or JB, and I've gotten like 6 hours of fun out of it and gone bored.
I think that's the way a lot of people look at it. And
exactly, yeah. Diminishing returns, I guess, in a way, like getting out of, money's worth out of what you're paying and blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing. Some people have no self-control as well when it comes to microtransactions, and they spend so damn much. It's like, I feel like you've got it's almost a gamble for these developers. And look, I don't know how the system works. I guess I don't pretend to know how, you know, their funding works and how they need to make money up front for certain things, blah, 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 this and this and this. They've got people to pay that work on it. I get that. I just feel like we've seen time and time again with games like this, how well the free-to-play system works. This game is banging. I would be on it right now. I'd be playing it. I would have given it a try. But I just don't know. $30 to me right now for a card game when there's a lot of other games I want to play just seems too excessive. I don't know. And I just feel like that I'm not alone. I feel like there's a lot of people that are probably in the same boat, and they're missing on potential people that might just do small transactions, like that might not add up to $30, but it might be money that they could have gotten if they just made the game free. It's just that they're blocking a lot of people out of that game when there could be people playing it. And even just having more people playing it builds hype. You know what I mean? We all know that. Like, having more people being able to play it for free just will generate hype, especially with Twitch being the way it is. The more people playing it, the more people that want to play it, they'll go, hey, it's free. What have I got to lose? Then they start playing. You never know when someone's going to get hooked on your game, but people aren't going to find out if they have to pay $30 first to get in. So
yeah, I think they're relying a lot on, you know, their brand, obviously, like it being a Valve game.
Yeah,
everyone's just going to assume that, you know, it's quality. They didn't cut corners, and they took their time putting out their product.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Time will tell,
I get what you mean. I think some of the best games that have had the most success on Twitch and
100%.
in terms of player base have been free to play with microtransactions.
Yeah, and continued growth for a game as well. I mean, a lot of games that are pay to play, they die off over time. I mean, even like I'm going to say Call of Duty's Battle Royale. I know that's came packaged with the Call of Duty, but even that already, people like that was like a $90 game, and Blackout Call of Duty Battle Royale is just dipping down. Imagine if they released Call of Duty Battle Royale Blackout mode as a separate free-to-play Call of Duty experience. I just feel like it'd be a different story. I feel like it'd still be up there on the lists. Like, I'm not a bloody, commerce, bloody, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it just to me seems like it's been tried and tested. So to me, Artifact is a very mysterious kind of project, and I will be very keen to see how it goes further on, especially with these mixed reviews. I think it could be a bit of a struggle from here on out, unless they do something.
I think it's early days. I think it's one of those things where check back in like 3 months.
Yeah, and who knows?
That usually tells you if it's taken off or not.
Could be booming in 3 months.
And you never know. Games like this tend to go free to play after a while. You know,
H1Z1 did.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they get to the point where they go, you know, starting to dwindle a bit. You know how we're going to get people in? Make that shit free. And it's like, well, maybe they are planning on doing that. Maybe that's always the plan. They just know they can make a couple of quick bucks on the real keen ones. I don't know. Maybe Valve's, I'm sure they got a plan. Now I'm thinking about, I bet they're planning on making that free to play down the track. They just want to make a bit of cash at the start. I mean, it is still technically beta. But there you go. Okay. Well, Ando, shit, we kind of railroaded your bloody Magic the Gathering talk. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
From
what I've played, yes.
Do you have any interest in Artifact, being someone who's now interested in playing Magic the Gathering? Like, what's your stance on stuff like Hearthstone and Artifact? Do you reckon it all kind of goes into one, or are you kind of like not interested? You're just kind of like, Magic's the only thing I care about at the moment.
I mean, I don't really care about Magic either, but yeah.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say, because for me, I don't know, I almost don't feel like just one card game leads into the other, because it's not like I played the Witcher card game either, Gwent, whatever it was. It's still got to be interesting. I think it's just funny that a lot of people, I know it's like Magic the Gathering's been around for a long damn time, but it's more just other things. It's funny how so many people lately have just brought out card games because they just know how hype it can get, how it can be a real money well or money pit for them or whatever. But
I feel like if they're going to bring out a card game, it has to be good. It can't just be something shit.
Well, they've got a lot of competition now in the card game realm. It's become quite a contested, and Hearthstone still leads the charge in the online card game world. And look, I still love Hearthstone. I haven't played it in a long damn time, but it's a great game. I mean,
it's crazy how long it's been up there for.
Oh, like 100%. But they
I can't get my head around it.
But they keep releasing expansions, and the thing that kind of turned me away is when they split up the main ranked mode into what is it? It's
Wild,
Standard
and Wild.
Standard and Wild, that's the one. And I just kind of got to a point where I was like, it's getting a bit too, I don't know, it kind of went into a different realm, and I was like, I don't know.
That's honestly when I put down the game as well.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Weird as what? Yeah, I don't know why. A lot of people seem to turn a lot of people away, and I can't put my finger on even why I was turned off by it at the time. But yeah, I don't know. It's a shame, because I remember like I was so into that game. I think it partly was because in Wild you could only play a certain you could play like all the.
It was the two most recent expansions, right?
Yeah, and they will always let you play the OG,
the basics
set. Yeah, the base set as well. So it just gets to a point where certain decks just become that are in your arsenal just become fucking redundant. And you have to, and I don't know, I'm a bit of a basic bitch. I make a deck and I just enjoy using it over and over once it works. I'm not really like a meta fiend. I don't really keep up with the metas. I kind of just find a deck that I have fun using and roll with that. But anyway, God, I promised we wouldn't go on and on today. We're already like an hour deep. Oh God.
Well, you're up now, so we just have to hop through.
All right, we're going to smash through. I've been playing Fortnite quite a bit on stream. And can I say as well, people seem to be okay with it. For a long time, people seem like they're like, Matt, if you ever play Fortnite, I'll never come back. But hey, those people are haters. That's not true. I feel like people have been enjoying it.
Dab, dude. Dab on the haters.
But at the same time, ask me if I'm enjoying it.
Are you enjoying it?
Are you enjoying it?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I
heard you express yourself a little bit today, and I was like, ooh, you've only been back at it for. Like not that long, like if we're talking about getting back into Fortnite and
look, I'm playing it somewhat casual in a way. I did play a little bit with Ando last night as well, and boy was I not in a good mood.
Really, what happened?
We were playing the casual mode. We were just playing the they've got a new mode at the moment. I don't know if it's permanent or maybe it's probably just limited, but essentially it's like a team deathmatch mode where it's 20 versus 20.
Oh, is it like 50 v 50?
Yeah, but 20 v
sort of, but not really.
Yeah, it's like 20 versus 20, and essentially every time you die in it, you just respawn and fly back down from the sky. And basically, you just try. It's the first to 100 points, so first to 100 kills are either team.
Okay.
And so it's a lot of fun, and you get like a bit of time at the start essentially to loot up. And then you essentially all get pushed into a smallish area of the map. So it does bring everyone in and it gets quite chaotic. And it's fun because you can try and rack up a whole heap of kills. My first ever game, I think I got like 20 kills. I was like, this is crazy. At 20 out of 100, I'm a god. And then I feel like it's been getting worse and worse. People are clapping me and stuff. But it is a lot of fun because and I feel like it's good as well because you can get used to just shooting. And because, obviously in the Battle Royale, you're not constantly like versing people. You're not coming across people. You're not honing those accuracy skills, I guess. But in this mode, there's nothing to lose. So you're just jumping straight in the action. You're working on getting your shots down. You're building constantly. So it feels like it's a very consistent, almost like I feel like it's perfect practice. But I was even just getting frustrated. I don't know why. I think I love Fortnite, but I feel like something about it grinds my fucking gears. And I can't put my finger on it, but it's irritating. Whenever someone kills you, it doesn't, not always, but every now and then someone kills you and it just gets you fucking mad. I don't know if it's something about those characters and their dead fucking expressions just makes me so angry when they kill you and they're staring at you like they don't give a shit, and then they might do fucking little emote and I
remember one specifically today. I don't know where you dropped, but it was literally like you dropped and died within about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I could feel the salt. I could feel the secondhand salt, and I was like,
bro, and do you just feel the smugness coming through that fucking character? You just know.
Because you know it's a 12-year-old guy.
Oh, you fucking know. Yeah, you fucking know it. And then they emote, and you just want to fucking shoot them, but you're already dead. So you can't do anything. You got to just deal with it. And I think that's why you see a lot of people that stream, as soon as they die, they're so fucking quick to click out of the game because they don't want to see anyone emote because they know it's going to shit them. Something about it. Look, and I think the other thing is, I'm not going to lie, I have a slight addiction to Fortnite. I'm not too...
we know.
I'm not...
We know.
I'm not too, too much of a big man to say it. I've been playing Red Dead this week as well. It's the other game I've been playing. I was loving it. Loving Red Dead. But somehow I still ended up finding myself the last 2 nights going back to playing Fortnite. And as much as it makes me mad, I still can't. It's this game. It's something about it, dude. I can't sometimes put it down. So I've been playing a whole bunch of that. But I think I don't know if I like it. I like it, but on one hand, but at the other hand, I don't know.
You're like, a young woman trying to decide if she wants to keep going back to her abusive ex or not.
Pretty much.
You feel like you're trapped, dude.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good.
Need a way out.
Sometimes it's good to me.
Sometimes it's
good. But then other times it beats me and I feel like crying. And, it's hard. It's fucking hard. But, so I don't know. I want to keep playing it, but I just keep telling myself, Matt, maybe you should just leave it for the kids and the top tier players and move on. Enjoy stuff like Red Dead. Because I'm moving on to that now. I'm playing some Red Dead. I've been playing. Last week I think I talked about. Was it last episode? I was talking about losing my hat and stressing me out. It might be there.
No, 2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago, and I said I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. And I thought, fuck it. People have been saying it's a damn good game. I'd only given it a short amount of time. I didn't. You know me. I give games 2 minutes. I make a decision on it. I've given it plenty more time over the last week. I played a hell of a lot over the weekend. Not the last 2 days because I was playing Fortnite. Fuck that game, but. I do love you though. Oh, come on, baby, don't be like that. But I was playing Red Dead. I'm loving it. Holy fuck. It's game of the year. Game of the fucking year. I call it right now. I also can't think of what else could top it, to be honest. I feel like now thinking about it, Spider-Man was good, but what else really was there that could top it? But the game is a masterpiece. They've done great with it. I didn't give it enough of a chance. Once you start really just immersing yourself in that world, the world feels so alive. Everyone within it, it blows my mind. I mean, just you can be walking around camp and just people come up to you and say things, and it feels like a real conversation that the characters are having, and it's not set up by the story. It's just an off. So it doesn't feel thing.
Like scripted, like
no.
Skyrim
And no, not at all. I think every conversation in that game actually feels super genuine. And I was even thinking about it's like obviously it's not good if you could say like, oh, if you're thinking about the voice acting, then maybe the voice acting isn't good. But the voice acting is so good that almost for a minute I thought, Jesus, I've got to stop and think this voice acting is amazing. I think about I was thinking like, how must they be in that booth making this sound so real? Sound design, everything in that game is so immersive, and that's what I've been wanting, just something to immerse myself in. And like I was talking, I think on one of the last podcasts, saying that it felt a bit slow. The story felt a bit like it was a bit of a slow burn. It wasn't in the first couple of missions just overly going somewhere, and it's building the world. Like it starts to go somewhere. It starts to have all these little kind of offshoot things that are happening, and you start going, okay, shit, I just want to say, great game. I can't wait to play more of it. There's not very much more to say. A lot of people have already played it. A lot of people are well ahead of me. I'm still only chapter 2. I'm 22% deep in it, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But I'm not even doing.
Hit your competitive itch though, because I know that you're someone that does need a little bit of a competitive.
I do, and I think that's why I'm still playing Fortnite on the side. I still need that social competitive, knowing that other people are in my game, kind of adrenaline rush. But at the same time, that's the thing. It takes me a while to go, all right, I'm going to sit down and play this game that I'm enjoying, which sounds weird if it's a story-based game. But once I sit down, I'm in it. Like, I'll play for hours. And Red Dead is just doing that for me. I'll sit down, I'll get lost in that world. And it's a sort of, it's a sort of game that is like, it's a one more quest. And then before you know it, the sun's coming up and you play it all night. It's great. I feel like it's got a really beautiful world. The landscapes are incredible. So, some of the weather effects as well. Just, I'll be at camp, walking around, talking to people, just doing some shit. And like a storm will roll over, and just the lightning in the background, the thunder, and just this, you feel like you're in a real storm is rolling. And like, I love storms. I don't know. I'm a big storm fan, big advocate for storms. Not ones that, destroy houses and kill people, but you know what I mean? Just average thunderstorm. Just love it. And just like, they're just, you feel like you're in that world. I feel like it just feels like it's a living, breathing world. I think a lot of games miss the mark on that. So, I'm just looking forward to jumping more into it, and I think there's a lot more to go. There's many more hours still yet to be put into it, but the plot does thicken little by little, but there's some great moments in that game, and I do encourage, if anyone's not sure if it's for them, wait till it goes on sale, because it will inevitably go on sale, but fuck, it is, and it'll probably come out on PC as well. I would say eventually, much like Grand Theft Auto 5 did. But man, just I'm glad I gave it another chance. And
two thumbs up. Is that what you're saying?
Heck, if I had 3, I'd put them up. This, like I said, game of the year. Game of the year, man. Beats Pokemon and everything.
How much are they paying you? Just curious.
I've just got to say, sorry before I go. I've got hashtag sponsored hashtag ad. Big shout out to Rockstar for sending me the game. Just kidding, it is not a sponsor. I think this year, I think back on it, I think what games did come out that can really top it. And I almost am starting to think, shit, I don't know if they're really... Spider-Man was really good. I didn't finish it though, and it's another one I've got to go back. Red Dead I will guaranteed finish. I guarantee it. It's something I want to see through to the end. Yeah, I'm excited. So that got me going. I think I needed a game like that to get me really feeling like, I don't know, just feeling like I'm hyped for games again. I feel like this year I just haven't played a lot of stuff like that. So very exciting times. Yeah, give that a big old 2 thumbs up. So that's what I've been playing this week. That's what we've been playing this week. Already an hour deep. Fuck.
Very good.
So
Very good.
We'll talk. Luckily, we still have our What's News segment that we'll be doing a little bit later in the stream on the podcast. I call it a stream. Take a shot. But I think what we're going to do now is quickly go over a few of the game new releases that are coming out this week. A couple of more have released. A couple haven't released yet. But I'm going to rattle off. I've got 5 here. I'm going to rattle them off in order that I put them down. Yeah, and we're just going to briefly touch upon them and what we think about them. Kicking off with one that's just come out. I think actually it only came out yesterday or today. Fuck, when did it come out? Either yesterday or today. Just Cause 4. I was interested in this game, but I wasn't overly hyped. It looks interesting. I don't know if you guys have watched any of it on Twitch.
Some trailers and stuff, but not really.
I think my problem with Just Cause is it feels a little bit like a generic action game. I think that's what they're aiming for. But what I can tell, it doesn't have much of a story. And I saw who was I can't remember who I was watching. Lyric. I was watching Lyric play it. Just the first few moments of it last night. And the world is massive. Well, I don't know how big the world is to traverse, but it's broken up into a shit ton of regions. I couldn't even tell you how many, but so many regions. And the idea of the game, from what I can gather, is to go back and liberate or recapture these areas and have, I guess, go over the whole map and set them free, I guess. Pretty generic idea for a game, I guess. The game looks fun. A lot of explosives. I never played Just Cause 3 or the ones before it. From what I'm hearing, it's much of the same. Reviews seem to be pretty alright about it. I think IGN gave it like almost an 8, like a 7.9 or something, so that's pretty good. It just feels like, if anyone doesn't know, it is very much like an action game. It's based around like grapple physics, from what I can gather. As well, Lyric having a lot of fun with that. You can grapple things to all sorts of things. They've got a new mechanic in it where you can grapple balloons onto things and people to make them float, which is super random.
No, really?
I swear to God, you grapple balloons onto people. So Lyric was, he just started a pile up of cars. He started jumping in the cars, ripping people out of them, and just attaching balloons to them. And he just attached like 10 people to this massive balloon, then tethered the massive like 10 people floating on balloons to a car and started driving. These people are just floating behind his car. Like, I have to admit, it was funny as shit. I was laughing. Then he attached a cow to it. Just crazy shit. Stupidest stuff ever. And that's what the game is. My problem with it is that I think after the initial meme wears off, I think it's going to get boring. I think it was hilarious to watch him play it. I think for me, $90 on Steam.
Wow. Okay.
$90 on
$90?
Steam.
Yeah.
$90 on Steam Australian, yeah. I think if you got day one from JB, you could get it for about 70. Pro was, I think it was 79, so $80 maybe. Maybe it was 70. I think it was 80. It's not cheap. So for me, unfortunately, I did want to play it on Try on Stream. I just know for me, I wouldn't finish it. I think the story is not thick enough, which I think they know it's not meant to be a super... Look, I could be wrong about that from what I've heard and from what I've seen. It seems like a very simplistic kind of story. I think they're really relying on just the ridiculous nature of it. And it does look funny, but I think after you grapple the first 1,000 things, you're probably going to get a little bit bored of it. I think it kind of... Maybe from what I can gather, hasn't shaken it up much from the previous games. So it'll be interesting to see. I was keeping tabs on how well it was doing on Twitch. Seems like it spiked a few times. It never got really even close to the top. Seems like people might, like I said, it's that sort of thing that people kind of find funny to watch for a hot minute, because it's funny seeing someone grapple a whole bunch of weird shit to it at the back of a car and drive around, dragging it around, and grappling jet planes. The other thing I thought was weird is that, your character in that game is a bullet sponge. It's almost impossible to kill him, from what I can gather. Your character so the game itself, from what I can gather, is always super easy. And
there's no difficulty modes.
People when Lyric was playing it, people in the chat were saying is this on baby mode or whatever? Is this on the easiest difficulty? Because the characters wouldn't die. He was literally flying him into the ground over and over. Because you got a wingsuit, so he was trying to figure that shit out. He's trying to grapple into the air and then deploy his glider. You got a glider kind of suit that deploys. But then he kept gliding into the ground by accident, and the screen would go red. But he just recovers instantly. He's getting shot by all these people. He's got cars falling on him. Just never dies. He didn't die once, and he was getting fucked up. So from what they're saying, the game's meant to be ridiculous, which I do like. I think a game that can sometimes not take itself so seriously is a bit of fun, but I think at the same time, it'll be interesting to see if the game over time develops some later. I'll be checking back and seeing, how people develop in it, but it seems like maybe the main kind of thing in it is the grapple, and the main new thing they've added is grapple balloons. To put balloons on people, it's weird, man. Check it out if you have it. It's pretty funny, and it definitely
I'm flicking through some Google images right
now.
It
definitely adds for hilarious moments. But here's the thing as well, right? Here's my question: is that if a game is so on the nose or so obvious about how ridiculous it's meant to be, does it take the fun away? Because I think the fun of making ridiculous things happen in games is when they're not meant to be done. But in a game like Just Cause, I think when it's so meant to be physics, when it's kind of saying, hey, grab a jet plane out of the sky with a grapple and throw it into a tornado. But it wants you to do that. It's kind of obvious. Everyone's going to do it. I'm not doing anything different. It's kind of just how it's meant to be. But in a game, perhaps where you're not meant to be able to do that, and you go, oh, maybe I can do that. Holy shit, it worked. That's where it gets exciting, because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But it seems so just obvious and easy to do in this, that I think it takes almost some of the fun away when it's meant to be kind of ridiculous. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think it lacks the depth to kind of keep people engaged. I think they've got a cool idea, and I think it's the fourth one. From what I can gather, it's just kind of, people might be a bit kind of burnt out on not burnt out, but I think it's kind of, it sounds like it's been they've done that. But yeah, look, it looks interesting. Square Enix, brought that one out, but I just don't know. Unfortunately, the price point was a little bit too much for me. I think by the time it goes down, I think it will be kind of seen everything there is in that game to be seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't know if there's that much of a market need right now for games like this. I feel like people are moving more and more away from. It's single player, right? It's single player campaign.
Yeah, and I don't know if there is any multiplayer aspect to it. I actually don't know, but yeah, it's pretty much based around single player campaign stuff, liberating areas.
I feel one game like that a year is almost enough. What was the big one that came out? Shit, now I'm forgetting the name of it. People say I look like the father.
Far Cry 5, yeah.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
that's-
that was
Yeah.
the kind of like solo adventure action.
Well, in a way, yeah, and in a way, no. I mean, I played a bit of that, and I think did that come out last year or this year? Did that come out earlier?
This year.
It was
Yeah,
like early this year, right?
I mean, look, I
Yeah.
struggle. I actually struggled with that game a little bit. It did kind of fall off a lot for me. It was interesting at the start, and with the father and everything and the cult stuff, but it kind of
I haven't finished it yet.
all of it kind of fizzled out a little bit. I would have liked to see a bit more of the father in that, but look, I think it's one of those things that there's a lot of games coming out these days are open world. I mean, Red Dead's open world. Spider-Man was essentially New York open world, but you had to do different, like the same kind of things over and over, along with standard story missions. There was a lot of side missions. I think for a game like Just Cause, I think it's a bit too much of a one-trick pony from what I've gathered, from what I've seen so far. There's probably a lot more to it, but yeah, I think perhaps the market isn't there. A few people did come into stream though over the last couple of days and ask me if I was going to get it, which made me kind of go, oh shit, maybe people are anticipating it. But from what I've seen on Twitch, people haven't really been that interested in watching, and I would be interesting to see on how the sales are for that game, because I just don't know. Even Just Cause 3, I don't feel like was ever really a big deal though. So yeah, but it does look fun. I think just not for $90 to me. So a bit of a shame, and I think you could easily get
expensive for a game. $90.
Yeah, and I think as well, I think you could almost get the entertainment instead of watching it on a stream. To be honest, I'm watching someone stream, watching a YouTube video, you could get the idea of it, have a laugh, and I think that would be almost. I think it would have been nice to see maybe a deeper story or something, but I don't think that's the kind of game it is. So is what it is. Next game, Super Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure, CJ, you're kind of keen on this one. I think a lot of people are keen. This is a big hype release of this year. This is a big hype release. I mean, it's not like a Smash Bros comes out, every year, or it's pretty much once a console's lifespan. And this one's coming out quite early on the Switch. I mean, considering how long the Switch has been out. I'm not a big. You guys both know I'm not a big Smash Bros fan. And I'm sorry, I can hear your keys clicking so hard, dude.
Sorry.
Like every time, I'm seeing you ping over and over. My God.
Are you still mining mines? Is that what's going on over there?
Mining hard.
Trying to find my base, dude. I'm in a forest, and obviously stupid spot to build.
This guy just in the middle of a Minecraft fucking game.
I know. It wouldn't be so bad if I couldn't hear his bloody keys going every Tuesday. The problem is that your keys add the background noise of your box into it as well. You can hear like the
box ambience.
The box ambience comes through as well, yeah. So I can hear it. Only slightly distracting, but that's all right. You can keep going.
I'm trying to be as quiet as I can. Right?
We'll get you a better mic. I'm gonna make sure I get you a better mic ASAP, Rocky. It's paramount at this point. Now that you're playing Minecraft again, Jesus. Yeah, Smash Bros. Look, I've never been good at it. Did you say you?
Yeah. What was the reason for that? Was it? Okay. There's like a story, right?
Yeah. So I mean, well, not overly a big story, but essentially I did remember when it came out on the 64. That was the first one that came out, Super Smash Bros. 64, whatever the fuck it was. I remember going to the video shop and getting it because I was so fucking pumped. I couldn't really figure out how to play it. I got bored of it pretty quick. I think I was like excited that I had like Pikachu and shit in it, and I was
Were
like,
you quite young?
I was quite, well, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of wondering when it came out, but yeah, I probably would have, I imagine I was maybe like 10 or 12 or some shit. I was young. But yeah, I remember maybe when it came out on the GameCube, I have a friend, Mercury Adept, who is on Twitch, but known as my good friend Josh, in the real world, and he's
dox him, baby.
Oh yeah, go find him. He's really into Smash Bros and Nintendo. He was actually, back in the day, he only played Nintendo. Into his teens, he then started branching out to PC and other consoles, but he was like #1 Nintendo fan that I knew. So he was very big on Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure he did do tournaments and shit every now and then, not massive ones, but he was pretty into it. But of course, then whenever I'd hang out, he'd be like, "Bro, play some Smash Bros." And I'd play it with him because I'm a good mate, and he'd kick my ass. Wouldn't go easy on me. and he barely tell me how to play. I feel like I only just see Josh.
One of those friends. Bro, one of those friends that asks you to play and then also doesn't tell you how to play.
Exactly. And I feel like, honestly, only like the last month or so, I've figured out how to play because C. Joel was nice enough to tell me to explain it in proper, obvious ways.
Just
the percentage, because I didn't get the percentage stuff. But yeah, so I mean, I think that turned me off it. And then I hadn't really played much here and there. Every time I kind of dabbled because someone was like, hey, have a go, Matt. I just sucked because I was versing people that were good and knew how to play and were super into it. And to them, maybe they thought they were going easy, but for someone that didn't know how the fuck to even win it, I thought you had to kill him. I didn't realize that you just had to kick him off the fucking platform. So I don't know. I just never got what was going on.
That was the funny experience. Hearing you describe to me the way that you thought Smash Bros. Work, I was like, yeah.
Bro, I just don't know. And no one explained it to me. But yeah, and then I remember my sister got me Smash Bros. On the DS, Nintendo DS, or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is that what it's called now? What am I talking? DS? Is it?
Yeah, the DS. That was the one after the
3DS. The 3DS. I'm such a dunce. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the 3DS when it was like, yeah. I mean, Nintendo and their names for consoles, but I got on that. I tried it for a little bit. I didn't really froth on it too much. But now that it's coming out on the Switch, I'm kind of like, maybe I could fuck with it a bit harder. I don't know. I think maybe it's the perfect entry point for me to get in and go, maybe I can figure it out. But I just don't know if I'm that hyped for it. But I know a lot of people are. And I think it's going to be a big seller for the Switch. A lot of people have even said to me on Twitch that they've gone to Switch in anticipation for Smash Bros. So I think it's going to be a system seller. I think it's it was an obvious but exciting move for Nintendo in selling units.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of their better like franchises. Like
100%,
the Smash Bros series. Everyone, almost, except for you, Matty.
Yeah.
Almost everyone loved it like growing up and had like pretty, funny and hilarious memories of it. Because it is one of those just like wacky games.
Bro, and I missed out. I feel like I missed out of that. Like,
yeah, fucking Josh, dude.
Bro, yeah, exactly. Fuck you, Josh. And the thing is, I feel like I was on the hype train for Smash Bros. Pretty much almost day one, like 64 era. When it dropped, I went and rented it because I was so hyped on it, So I feel like I should be like the biggest Smash Bros fan, but somehow I've turned out to bloody hate it. So I don't know, maybe I'll pick it up at some point, maybe even if there's a Christmas sale. I don't think it'll be a day one pick up for me. I just don't know if I'm that interested. But if I watch maybe Bobby J, I know Bobby J is going to be playing it on his stream. If I see that it looks good, I'll give it that much. I think, yeah, there is that exciting charm of having so many different Nintendo characters and even some characters that aren't overly Nintendo. I'm pretty sure Solid Snake and Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. I could be wrong. Pretty sure these characters have made appearances in Smash Bros. At times. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, even Pac-Man. I don't know. So it's not always... Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, I just didn't want to keep rattling off characters. But yeah, I mean, so it's a great game. I don't know if you guys remember, though. Do you guys remember when PlayStation tried to bring out their own Smash Bros?
I don't, actually. I'm struggling to remember.
I'm pretty sure it's called PlayStation All-Stars. I could be wrong. Yeah, Oh, there's even a second one, apparently. What the fuck? PlayStation All-Stars. Battle Royale? What? It's not a Battle Royale, though.
The thing that came out in 2012?
Yeah, it got an 8 out of 10 on IGN.
Yeah. Battle Royale doesn't mean Battle Royale.
No.
The common way that we use it today. It just means everyone enters, one person leaves. That's kind of it.
I guess the same as like Royal Rumble and stuff. Just the word Royale now. Everyone's like, oh, it's a new Battle Royale. But yeah, I mean, I found one screenshot and it looks very much
dude, I remember this.
Like a 4-person fighting game. Let me pull it up here. Wait, is this? Oh my God. Hold on. Oh my God. I don't know. Is this real? Bro, it looks exactly like Smash Bros. I found a But don't you love it that it's like Sly Raccoon. I don't know who won. They don't have the catalog of lovable characters that everyone has, but they've got all these like characters. Then they've just got Nathan Drake from Uncharted, who's just such a normie compared to all these other characters, and it just doesn't work.
Oh, they've got Jack. Is that his name? The fucking orange thing that sits on that dude's shoulder.
Jack and Daxter or some shit.
Is that them? Yeah,
I think so. What do they got here? What can we? I've got it up on the
and the
screen.
hacky sack man. I forget what his name.
Oh, what is that hacky sack? The fucking
Sackboy.
Sackboy. Jack and Daxter, they've got some guy with a beard. See, like I'm looking, I'm a big PlayStation fan. I'm like number one. Like PlayStation is my console of choice. Out of, even though I love Nintendo, Xbox I've never fucked with, but PlayStation's the one that I've bought every console. And I've, PlayStation 4 I've gone ham on getting games for that. But I just, so many of these characters, I'm like, what the fuck are these? I mean, I can see as well. I'm pretty sure this character here, which you can't see, but I'm pretty sure he's from Ape Escape. He doesn't even look right. It just seems like the characters don't blend well.
No.
Like Nintendo characters blend well. In this, they just look like a fucking mess.
Because I feel like Nintendo characters all have a very, very similar art style.
Yeah, they do. It's like, 100%.
They all make cameos in each other's games. Like, you'll see Nintendo characters like share little, like tiny roles in each other's games and shit. But
this looks like some sort of weird bargain bin, like mess of dollar store characters. Even though they're all big characters in their games, it just looks like a dumpster dive of like characters. I don't know, something. It just looks so weird. You got Sackboy and Parappa the Rapper, and then you got Nathan Drake just looking with his normal ass human self.
You got Kratos and the Bioshock
smile.
Dude with his drill.
Bioshock behind. Like, what the fuck? Even Gravity Rush. I don't know. Have you got the same one on screen with the little princess down in the bottom right eating cake?
Yeah, I can see that one. Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
That's Cake Girl, dude. Don't you know Cake Girl?
Are you fucking with me? You're fucking with me.
Yeah. I got no idea who that is.
Oh my god, bro, that's Cake Girl. If anyone knows who the fuck this girl with the cake is, yeah, she's in this picture as well. She's stuffing her face with cake. Who is that? Oh, I'm so confused. I've never...
Actually, you know why I think... I just had like a little epiphany. Why the Nintendo characters all blend much better. It's because all of these characters, right, they're one-dimensional characters in the sense that the only thing that you know them from is their main game. Yeah. Whereas Nintendo, you talk about the whole like Mario cast with like, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Luigi.
They link them.
Yeah, and they're in games that aren't their own games as well. You think about like
Party, Mario Kart,
exactly, Mario Tennis.
Yeah, they got all of them. And
what was that Game Boy game where it's like full of mini games?
Oh, Game & Watch and stuff like that. There's Game & Watch Gallery.
I can't remember it. It was this series of mini games, and everything
might not be the one I'm thinking.
Featured like a different Nintendo character.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have. Yeah, they've definitely blended it all together. But even the fact that they've got like Samus for a Metroid who doesn't so much fit in with the cutesy nature of Nintendo, somehow in Smash Bros still works. Yeah, works. Bringing in Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid still somehow works. I don't know what it is, but they just... I think the thing is, right, for Smash Bros, they kind of... even if all the characters are somewhat... from different worlds, they still give them a similar look and feel. The whole PlayStation All-Stars thing, they just look like they've ripped them literally from their games and slapped them in. They haven't tried to like give them an individual look. There's something as well I'm going to talk about in a minute about PlayStation, which I think still there's Nintendo has a charm and a way of being able to get away with certain things because it's Nintendo. I think
check out this one. I popped it in the Cactus Cult.
Oh my god, it's just such a mess. Everything looks.
Looks terrible, right?
Okay, yeah. So this looks fan. Yeah, this is fan made of like Superman. They've got Mortal Kombat, Spyro up in the top right. Whoever made this, I mean, good attempt, but got Cake Girl on the bloody bottom left. But they're all very different characters. I see maybe now looking at this how maybe they had normalized some of the characters and made them all kind of similar in a way, but they're just too different.
Look at Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man. Superman right up the back.
And there's like
right
anime
next
characters.
to the most weeb-looking like anime chick that you've ever seen in your life.
But that's the thing. Do you reckon in the game they actually had the anime characters looking full anime, or do you reckon I reckon because this is fan made. I reckon they wouldn't look like that in the game. Surely. It's so weird.
Yeah,
though. It is.
I couldn't say.
PlayStation, you done fucked up on that one. You tried, but leave that shit to Nintendo. So yeah, Super Smash Bros on Switch. Excited for that. I think that's going to be really good. I think that's one of the things that Nintendo just does really well, and I know a lot of people get excited. I'm going to be excited to watch people play that, and perhaps even play it myself. Couple more things quickly to rattle off. One that I'm not going to talk about too much. I just noticed. Came out like a day or two ago on Steam. I don't know if it's actually... I think it is on Xbox and PS4. One I urge everyone to check out a trailer for, perhaps. It's called Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden.
Mutant yeah, seen people on Twitch playing that.
Yeah, it's very much XCOM style turn-based combat. I never really played much of XCOM. I played a little bit of it. I didn't really get into it, more because of just the look of it. This has a look that I like. This is very much, I mean, once again, like a lot of games, 2018, baby, post-apocalyptic settings and all that shit. But just the environments and the character you play. One's like a duck, one's a fox, one's a like a hog. They're unique characters and they look fun and exciting. They have a bit of uniqueness and it's something different to it. And the environments look lush. They look, interesting. They look a bit spooky. They look a bit intriguing. I don't know, something about. So definitely encourage you guys to check that out. If you're a fan of XCOM or even just turn-based strategy, I think this is something that you guys might be interested in. I haven't actually delved into it. I watched a little bit of gameplay last night. I'm probably going to pick this one up. It is $50 Australian on Steam though, so it isn't a cheap buy-in. But when I'm looking at what's come out this week, I'm kind of thinking this might be the one that gives me that strategy kind of itch that I'm looking for. When we're talking about $30 for Artifact, I'm looking at this game that just looks like it has a whole bunch of depth. It's got a story. It's got some unique ass characters that you might be able to just get attached to. I don't know. It feels like this might be a bit more of an exciting journey to take for $50. So I think I might fuck with that. Might if I get it before next week, I might have something to talk about more on it. But I think if you guys haven't checked that out, definitely just look up a trailer. Might be for you. Next thing I want to talk about quickly is Red Dead Online. Red Dead Online came out. It is only in beta. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if I'm going to bother yet. I'm hearing not great things about it. People are angry. Apparently it's full of microtransactions, but in some terms, from what I can hear, it might be mega transactions. It sounds like there are, and like we said, this is a full price game, and they're doing it again. They're hitting people with these microtransactions, and people saying it's a little bit content weak. Apparently, they actually have a battle royale in it though. One of the things you can do in Red Dead Redemption 2 is a battle royale. Who would have thought?
I'd be up for that.
I'd be up for that. I watched a little bit. It looks interesting. It doesn't look like a fully fledged battle royale. It looks just like, what you expect from a Red Dead battle royale, but it looks fun. I've watched a few people play, interact with other characters, or people in the world. I watched Loser Fruit play it for a hot minute with the Click crew. And she like hog-tied someone and tried to run off with another actual person, like hanging behind their horse, like dragging them. It looks funny. It looks fun. You can enjoy the whole open world now with other people. I think it looks good, but I don't know. I'm still nutting through the fucking story as is. And I think once I finish the story, I'll probably be pretty good for a while, but it'll be interesting to see where they take that. And then the last thing on my list is not so much a game, but a collection of games. The PlayStation Classic came out this week. If you know what the PlayStation Classic is, it's essentially Sony's answer to Nintendo's mini console.
I feel like Sony does a lot of answering. You know, 100%,
and that's what I was going to say.
Watch Nintendo do something and it's successful, and they're like, "Hey guys, we should follow it up with something that's not as like." You know what I mean? Like they almost hit the mark, but they don't quite hit the mark on
100%. And you know what? I'm starting to think as well. After the Nintendo Wii came out, isn't that when I can't think of what it was called, but PlayStation brought out its peripheral system where it had those little dildo-looking things with light balls at the end of it, and it was like motion sensor. I can't think of what it was called though, but they brought out like a motion sensor control that had a little ball on the end, and it was very much like a Wiimote.
You're not talking about like the eye. What was it called?
No, not that. It was
the eye toy. Was it called something like that?
No, they did. That was that died off. That was a weird thing. No, this was I think after the eye toy. Hold on, I should probably figure out what it's called. play. That's not how you spell it. Oh God, station.
The eye to it was fucking weird, dude. I remember that shit. I had like a couple of mates like bought that the year it came out, and I remember going like I would have been young.
What
like
was
doing like weird like there's like running competitions and boxing and fishing and
I can imagine back then how shit the capture could have been on that.
It was so janky, dude.
Yeah, janky, and it had to have it in perfect lighting, perfect conditions, a blank wall behind. Nowadays, she's crazy. People playing that Just Dance game, you can be like literally in an open convention hall with people walking past everywhere, and it just perfectly knows what you're doing. So I don't know, technology's come a long way. It was maybe a bit ahead of its time on that one. Also, I'm thinking of PlayStation Move, the motion controllers. I don't know if it's still, I don't know if they've discontinued that. I think it might still be a thing. I'm not too sure. But I think that might have been an answer to Nintendo. So yeah, I think it's funny. Nintendo's always seen as like the strike.
Oh my gosh, dude! These things look like the most not safe for work things I've ever seen in my life.
It's very phallic, isn't it? It's quite penis-esque.
Looks like a vibrator. Like it straight up just looks like a vibrator.
100%. I mean, I've always wondered, like, if you're catching a bit of a
they do vibrate, right? On the end of those little like fucking.
That is a great question. I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I want to go as far to say that I would say that many different controllers have been used for intimate relations with or without a partner. I would just go as far to say that some controllers have probably been places that you don't want to know. And this one might be the front runner for most ease of use.
Damn.
It is very penis looking.
This thing, it's almost like you couldn't even script something that weird.
No.
You know? Like, how did
like...
that get through the fucking design team? Like, I'm just wondering, maybe they just thought it was a meme and they're like, dude, we're going to release this. It looks, sketchy as fuck, but everyone's going to
it gets the job done. Yeah, it's quite a curious case. I'm just pulling up the picture, so here we go. I've got it on screen now. If anyone's wondering, anyone's watching this, it is very much like a very rounded. Oh god, very rounded. It's pretty much a dildo. Just picture a dildo. A little ball on the end of it. And that's pretty much the controller. It is an interesting. Surely they could have made that slightly less.
Bro, it looks like one of these things.
Oh god, I don't know if I should. Is it safe for work? God.
Yeah, it's safe for work because there's no explicit image, but it's just the product itself.
Oh my god.
Tell me it doesn't look like that.
It 100% looks like that. Someone needs to Photoshop a picture of someone playing with the what is it called? The fucking PlayStation Move. Someone needs to get some of that promo art of people playing with it and change it to one of those. You wouldn't even tell. You wouldn't even tell the difference.
Like someone in front of their TV just holding a big-ass vibrator.
100%. Bro, it's got to be out there. Hold on. Let's just... I probably shouldn't search this because it might... Oh, goodness. I just wanted to see if someone's photoshopped this shit. I mean, it definitely... Bill Fred just posted... What the fuck? Yeah, everyone's a bit unsure now. Everyone's a little bit unsure. Okay, I'm getting a few... Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't have typed in what I typed in. All right, moving on. So that's... Oh, yeah, I was going to mention... Okay, yeah, everyone's triggered in the chat. Gee, that started a thing. So PlayStation this week has released their PlayStation Classic, which is the answer to essentially the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic that was released I think like a year ago for NES. This year I think was the Super NES. Jesus, I think it was this year. Obviously NES was a very well-selling product. Nintendo didn't make enough of them, sold out very quick, high demand. I think Super Nintendo was the same thing, sold out very quickly. I think you had a pre-order. PlayStation went ahead, made a PlayStation 1 mini, essentially, packed with 20 games. 20 games. It didn't sell out like the Nintendo versions did. Unfortunately, I feel like you guys are playing distracted. Type in the chat right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna click off because this is
I'm clicking off. I'm
It's
clicking off too.
distracting.
Yeah, I'm clicking off too. Hello everyone watching to the podcast and listening. And this is not live. If anyone's wondering, people probably now like, wait, is this live? Not live. But essentially, yeah, they brought out a PlayStation 1 replica mini version. Very cute, very adorable. They've got controllers with it. They're not DualShock, so they don't have the thumbsticks. They're back to basics, like the very first PlayStation 1. Packed with 20 games. When it came out, when it was announced, EB Games had it. It was $150, $150 for this 20 game pre-game loaded mini console. And I was gonna pre-order, and I just was like 150. I don't know if I have that kind of cash right now. They haven't even announced what games are going to be on it. I just want to hold out a minute. But I was nervous because I just know how quick the Nintendo one sold out, and I wanted to get on that shit. But I was biding my time. I saw it over a couple of weeks. It just didn't sell out. The pre-orders just didn't sell out. And it just never did. Never sold out. It's now available. You can pick one up. I'm pretty sure right here, right now. I'm gonna say maybe don't. Now, I'm going to say, maybe from both of you, C-Jaws and Ando, if you were to say maybe one PS1 game that you'd expect to be on a PlayStation Classic celebrating, the PS1 being the very first PlayStation console, what game maybe would you expect to, I'm pulling up the list. What game would you maybe expect to be on it?
Off the bat, I would say Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot, yep. I would expect that too. What are you thinking, Ando?
Apex Escape.
Okay, both not on it.
No, Crash has to be on it. You're joking, dude.
Try again. What else do you think might be on it?
Spyro.
Not on it. Ando, you got anything?
What's that game with like the hands on his hat?
Hands on his hat?
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Rayman? Rayman, I think.
I wasn't thinking of Rayman, but yeah, let's go with Rayman.
Well, Rayman's on it. No, yeah, that's right. Rayman's on it.
I'm trying to think of games that are on the PS1 now.
Yeah, I just want to go out on a limb. Well, I just want to say that the lineup of games is trash. Terrible. Really bad lineup. Certain games that you wouldn't even... just not really showcasing like a console of that era and the best games that were on it. No Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3. Okay, so some of the ones of note, they have Cool Borders 2. I'm not sure why they don't have Cool Borders 3. They have Final Fantasy 7. They have the original Grand Theft Auto. They have original Metal Gear Solid. So there are a couple of things on here. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Ridge Racer Type 4. Some of these do sound good. They got Tekken 3. And they got Twisted Metal. Look, a lot of these were games that were quite good. I feel like this is 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 19. This is 20. This is all of them. Okay. So I'll rattle them off quickly, alright? I'll rattle off every game that's in it. Battle Arena Toshiden. Never heard of it. Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy 7, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Mr. Driller, Metal Gear Solid, Jumping Flash, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Revelations Persona, Rayman, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, R4 Ridge Racer Type 4, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Wild Arms, and Twisted Metal. A lot of people are really mad that there's a lot of games missing from the list. Yeah, like your Crash, your Spyro, Tony Hawk, all that kind of stuff. I feel like there are a couple of good games in here, but just misses the mark. Then I'm also hearing that a lot of these games don't handle well. Now, look, if I can do the story justice, something about these games were a lot of these are power versions of the games, even for the American release of the PlayStation Classic. They use the power version, which doesn't play well with the TVs over in America. Some of these games are just not playing back well. They're playing back kind of dodgy and shit. The controller isn't working well for some of these games that I think were made to have DualShock, like thumbstick controls. So I just like to say, imagine playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, right? A first-person shooter, but imagine doing it without thumbsticks. You have to use the D-pad.
That would be atrocious. That'd be
exactly, and that's
the worst thing I've ever experienced.
And that's some of the points people are making, that these games just haven't aged well, and the controls are bad. They don't look good. They don't have the charm that Nintendo had back in the day. They just don't work. So unfortunately, this console has been getting from places like IGN and whatnot 5 out of 10 review scores. Not good. PlayStation, you tried, but once again, you've just kind of missed the mark. And I think instead of rushing maybe out this console for Christmas, they could have, I feel like they really should have licensed some games that maybe were a bit more of a homage to like the old school PlayStation, or the ones we knew and loved. I feel like unfortunately they've just kind of dropped the ball on it. It seems like a bit of a rush product. And as much of this cute little shelf piece, maybe for $150, I think I might, maybe if it comes down in price, I might grab it. But those are the game releases of the week, as you have it. And I'm sure there'll be a couple next week as well. But a couple of good ones on there. I think the winner of this week, though, is Smash Bros. I think everyone's kind of keen for that one. Okay, so pretty much our last segment of the podcast. We've definitely gone over time already, but hey, at least it's still going to be under 3 hours, 100%.
That's a
but
plus.
It's wait, what?
That's a plus.
That's a plus. We'll try and tighten it each week, but geez, it's hard to not tangent. But you know, it is what it is. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the podcast. But we're up to what's news, affectionately titled by CJ's last week, the news segment. What is news, everyone? So I heard Ando doesn't have any news for this week, which is okay. We'll keep it a bit tight.
We still love you, Ando.
We still love you. That's okay. You know, I understand living in a box. You probably don't hear a lot of the weekly news. So that's okay. CJols, what's your news of the week? Now we talked about this bit before the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
You were a bit unsure about if it's good news or worthy. You wanted to double check it. I said,
I just think I'm more convinced now than ever that I'm living in a simulation, dude.
Really?
There's just no way that this is reality. There's no way.
Shit. Okay.
I think we have hit like ultimate meme status on like just everything that's happening. I feel like someone's written a bad script is how I feel. And we're just living it out right now.
Oh, I'm nervous. Okay. This sounds... Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
Ninja has announced, well, he announced like in October that this album was going to be released.
Oh, really?
And
okay. You've done some...
putting together a Fortnite album. Now, initially, when you brought this up to me, because it was actually Matty that brought this to my attention. Yeah. I was like, there's no way. I was like, my mind was going wild. I was like, Ninja is going to be on an album. That's actually not what's happening, unfortunately. As great as it would be to hear like Ninja rap.
But can I ask you, because I did some digging and I found a small playlist of 3 songs on Spotify when I looked up, what's it called? Ninja Works Volume 1. Volume 1, as if to say there's going to be plenty more of these coming out. Oh my God. I love that you said no greater time that you think you're in a simulation, because this shit is weird. Look, the boy's smart. He knows how to bring in some sweet cheddar. It's just crazy that he manages to make it happen. But, do you know if he does feature on it at all in any capacity?
No. He hasn't in any of the tracks that have been released so far. But we only know of the tracks that have been released so far.
Because I found a song. Okay, so when you look up Ninja Works, on here, let's look it up. Works. When you look up Ninja Works, there is a playlist. It's got 1,796 followers. It does have a picture of like Ninja's kind of standard blue hair, blue kind of clothing, yellow headband kind of self, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's very much Ninja. Oh, fuck, it's been updated. No, oh, shit. 251 songs. It had 3 on it, literally, 2 days ago. Well, not yesterday, the day before when I was on stream and I memed on it a little bit. This has now been updated heavily. Now it's
251 songs.
15. No, this is not. So this isn't the album. This is a playlist. Ninja playlist, Fortnite, Ninja Works, Twitch. So someone's made this. The person that made it apparently created by YouTuber playlist. 251 songs, 15 hours and 42 minutes of Ninja music goodness. The little blurb here says, professional Fortnite player and Twitch live streamer who travels around the world to compete in gaming tournaments for big prizes. Big prizes. He has over 5 million followers on his Ninja Twitch account. And that has email, hello@youtuberplaylist.com. Ninja Works. This is weird. I don't know who made this, but it's already got one. So I don't know if this is him pushing it, because how did this get all of a sudden 1,796 followers? People looking this up and just following it. It went from having 3 followers, but but this playlist is made up of artists like Tycho, Drake. Who else do I recognize in here? No one else, because I'm so fucking
that can't be the album though. I think that sounds like a fan made.
It is. But
Playlist,
so this is where I'm getting at with this playlist though. The thing I'm getting at. Oh, now I'm really no, we're right. Oh god, now I'm looking at the dates on these when they were added. I'm so confused. Anyway, it doesn't matter. First track on here is called Game Time, featuring Ninja. And it's even credited that the artists are 3 Lau. It's a number 3 LAU.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Ninja. I listened to the song. It does sound like it has a part in the song where Ninja says something like, "It's game time," or something like that. And it does sound like Ninja. I think they've taken, like, I don't know, I guess he's part of it.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, when did that get? Oh, bro, that must have got put up in the last day or so.
Yeah, well, I think so, but I'm curious if that's on the album. I don't know if I can show credits.
Yeah, I think it is, man. I found it. Yeah, I just see it as well.
Is it on the album?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So yeah, there
featuring
you go.
Ninja.
Featuring Ninja, so he does feature very wildly on his new album. Holy shit, we're in a simulation, dude. Oh fuck. So anyway, no hate towards Ninja though. I'm not hating on the dude. Like, you hustle your ass off, bro. You're killing it,
man.
But it's just so funny that this is where we're at.
It's like people these days can blow up for playing a video game really well. And then somehow, like, this wouldn't have even happened 5 years ago.
No.
But like now, like, being so good at a video game can literally put you in touch with some of the biggest musicians around the world.
Yeah.
To then be at a point where you're like collaborating to put together a quote unquote like Fortnite themed album. It's just like, it is bizarre, man. Like,
it's wild.
At what point do we have to get to where like parents are going to be telling parents are going to be acknowledging at least like, oh, like video games aren't even like, they're not a waste of time anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so many avenues you can take it. The game just gets you into it.
More people are making livelihood from
And talk about livelihood. Ninja's making a livelihood for a small community. Enough livelihood for a bloody third world country. It's crazy. Yeah. The kid's made a shit ton of money off this. And I think it's interesting, right, that he's made this. What do you think has spurred it on? Because I almost feel like as Ninja's stream is starting to dip in viewership, as inevitably he would have known it would. I mean, I think at one point I remember him saying, people said, what are you going to do with all the money you're making all of a sudden? Because he's making millions now. And I think he said something like he's putting it away because he knows that it won't last forever, that the hype will die down inevitably. It's Twitch.
I think a couple of things spurred, like, first of all, I think he's a pretty switched on dude. Like, I don't think he's an idiot.
100%. No.
And I think he's very wise to not like fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I'm making this much money per month. Mm-hmm. I'm always going to be making this much. I can be a little bit careless and spend it on whatever I want. Like a lot of, you hear a lot of like artists, like music artists that blow up really quickly. They actually go bankrupt because they spend at such a rate that they can't pay it back because they expected that it'd always be how it is.
Once they make it, they make it. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people fall into that trap, and especially on a quick come up. I know Ninja's been out for a long time, but really you have to say he blew up exponentially in a short amount of time. And some people don't know how to handle that kind of fame or that kind of pressure or that kind of sudden wealth. And here's the thing. I want to know how licensing on shit like this works. I mean, Ninja has said, like, can we get a check on the track listing on that actual album quickly?
I don't think the full album releases on the 12th. So
and
I think
they don't.
We've only got 4 tracks so far.
Okay, is Drake on any of those?
Not currently.
Okay, because I'm very curious because Ninja has obviously there was that bit of a blow up a while ago when Ninja kind of insinuated that perhaps Drake used Ninja for views and clout. And everyone said, okay, Ninja, you've hit your limit. Drake wouldn't use you for clout. Now, I think it's a give and take thing. I think they both could use each other. It's just Ninja does have a pool. 100,000 people is nothing to sneeze at.
I don't think it's a one-way street. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Anyone that said that, anyone that sneered at that, an idiot. Of course Drake found some sort of avenue. He wasn't doing it just out of the goodness of his heart and thought Ninja was a cool guy and wanted to play with him. Sure, there is a market to tap in there, and any smart businessman would do it. But it'll be interesting to see after that sort of shit went down and Ninja kind of almost seemed a bit almost hostile to the idea of playing with Drake again. I don't know a lot about it, but it'd be interesting to see if maybe Drake does appear on his album. Any noteworthy people in the first 4 tracks that they've released?
I mean they're actually all noteworthy.
Really?
Tycho.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was 3 Low, the guy that you first mentioned, Alesso.
Yep.
Which I don't know if he's like a pretty big house name. Like,
can I just say it? Yeah, okay. And is the track title that one perhaps Tilted Towers?
Tilted Towers, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
We've hit can I say we've hit peak Ninja, we've hit peak Fortnite. This is where it gets crazy. I don't mind it. I thought we hit peak Ninja like a couple of months ago. This is peak Ninja. But continue, sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's in his final form. This isn't even his final form, bro.
Holy shit, you reckon? Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what happens after this album because he can go many places from here.
That's true. Music can really.
Well, you asked like what spurred this on. I think 2 things.
Yeah.
One, like the decline of Fortnite and his channel in general, because him and his channel, I mean, him and Fortnite go hand in hand. The decline of Fortnite means decline of him. So I think he saw this as a way of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. He's like, I'm going to make myself a little more relevant and I'm going to make Fortnite a little more relevant. And he's doing both with this. And the other thing, I think he's got some pretty switched on like advice. Like you'd have to have somebody like, you'd have to have like business and financial advisors around you, especially when you're like earning such money.
Multi-million-dollar business essentially that he's running right now. No single person can run a multi-million-dollar business, which is what he's running right now. So 100%. He's got people. That's the thing. When you start making cash, you can start getting other people on board to help you manage where you go next with it. And yeah, I would say it'd be interesting to see if Ninja came up with this idea of someone pushed him, but they obviously have sat down and said, hey, how can we future-proof what we're doing? The thing is, once Ninja puts out this album, that's the thing. This could continue to make money down the track. He's saying volume 1 as if like there's plenty of chances that there'll be volume 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. More artists will slowly get on board. It's lucrative. He's smart. But the thing is why I do wonder about how the licensing went on this. Who's paying who? Is he paying out of his own pocket? How much money would he have to give to these artists? This is a big fucking deal. Depending on how many tracks that are on there.
The artist would get paid based on the success of the album.
I mean, that's it. So he essentially he's paying royalties to all these artists for using their tracks. But it's super interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to definitely give the album a listen when it comes out.
Can you not give the album a listen?
Oh, mate. I hope Ninja, I know you don't listen to this, but please put out a rap song just so we can laugh and meme on it.
Put out a diss track. Put out a Drake diss track.
Yes. Like I will be so happy if one of these tracks is just a Ninja rap song, because I know he likes to fucking rap, and I know the itch would be there. He'd be itching to get one of these songs on there because maybe he could be the next rap sensation in his mind.
Dude, I'm sure it's a thought that's crossed his mind.
Oh, it is a big thought. I mean, you've seen how he's tried to rap on stream and how that's gone sometimes, but I don't know. Cringer, bro. Bring back some Cringer. I miss Cringer. I feel like old school Ninja. I actually believe that old school Ninja could make a return. No, I know. I think just the old Ninja that wasn't too worried about what he said. I think as Fortnite dips out and the next big thing comes in, and maybe the next big thing won't be as as family friendly, but he enjoys it. I can imagine he'll go back to his old ways, but who knows? But
He will.
yeah, I guess at the same time he's got a business now. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, you twisted my arm there, 100%. But yeah, no, very interesting. Well, we'll keep tabs on that.
That's the news, dude.
Yeah.
Well, next week, the album should be released, so we can check that in.
Okay, exciting times.
Actually, maybe not, because the 12th is tomorrow for them.
Okay,
so it might be next Thursday, actually.
Okay, well, maybe after next podcast, maybe we'll have a listening party just for us three. Maybe we can sit down and have a little listen together and just write some thoughts and opinions. I don't know. Have a bit of a meme on it. But it'll probably be mostly very standard songs. I don't think that every song will be based on... Wait, are the track listings Fortnite based, or are they, because obviously it's game time?
Some of them are, though.
Yeah, so it looks like it would be a mixed bag of Fortnite.
But it's definitely, it's very clear. Like Ninja said, he wants this to be something that you listen to while you play Fortnite.
Yeah,
he wants this to be the Fortnite soundtrack.
So I tested that theory already. I played the song Tilted Towers, and I decided to do a hot drop in Tilted Towers. I got 2 kills. I never get kills.
Inception.
I never get kills in Tilted Tower. I got 2 hot kills straight off the bat, and then got absolutely aced. So the game, I feel like the song Game Time. Oh no, the song Tilted Towers, sorry, by Alesso, has a little bit of power. Maybe he's right. Stay tuned. But there you go. So we'll be on Ninja Works watch over the next couple of weeks and see how that goes. That was good news. I don't know why you were unsure about that. That's fucking hype.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
I'm excited about it, to be honest. I love shit like that. It's you got to have a good laugh and also tip your hat to that one. I've got a bit of news. This last week has been a bit of a shit show, as you know, for Bethesda releasing Fallout 76. I know that wasn't just this week. Fallout 76 has been out for a little while, much to the disgust of a few people that haven't liked it. I've heard a few people say they do enjoy it, but the overall kind of user reviews and whatnot haven't been great for the game. The game's kind of buggy, it's broken, people are saying it's just not good. So they kind of had a shit show with that, right? Bethesda kind of copping a bit of flack. But a lot of people probably think it ends there. Bethesda has been under some serious shit in the last week, all because of their Ultimate Collector's Edition, which I can't remember what the main collector. Let me quickly just double check what that was.
Ultimate
called.
Collectors of
the Ultimate, Fallout 76, their main Collector's Edition, which was a big one. Let me pull it up for a hot minute. I should probably have all this stuff ready to go, but Collector's Edition. Let's have a look here. So. Here we go. Power Armor Edition. $200 American for this Power Armor Edition. I'm on Engadget right now just to get the imagery here. If you look up the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition, you'll probably get the news story that I'm going to talk on here. But it came with, okay, I'll rattle off what it comes with here. It comes with an exclusive steel case, 24 collectible Fallout figurines, which look like old school army men. Looks pretty cool. A glow-in-the-dark world terrain map, which looks pretty dope. Also comes with a wearable T51B, if I'm saying that right. I haven't played the game. Power armor helmet that you can wear. It looks fucking dope. It looks like something from the game. You can actually, it's the same helmet you see on the front of the cover of the game. You can wear. I think it makes sounds and shit. Might light up a little bit. Looks kind of cool. And it also comes with a canvas West Tech duffel bag. Now take note of that. A canvas West Tech duffel bag.
Canvas West Tech duffel bag.
Yeah. Now,
I can already guess where this is going, but yeah.
Really? What do you think? I'm curious.
That it just doesn't come with that. That they just don't even give you. You just get scammed.
Very close. Yeah, very close. But no, you did get a bag of some sort. Turns out the bag wasn't canvas. They changed it last minute to a cheap nylon, which is very cheap. To the point where it looks almost like a garbage bag. I urge people to look up. Wait, I might even. Yeah, I've got it. So anyone listening or watching, you can see now the difference. It turns out that they cheaped up and went nylon. It's this thin, flimsy piece of trash material. Doesn't look like anything in the picture. That they promoted the power armor. They didn't tell anyone they were changing it. The bag looks completely different, essentially, to what was promoted. So people have spent $200 American. I don't even know what that is in Australian. Probably even closer to $300 for this power armor edition. The bag is a big selling point of that. I know the helmet's a big part of it, but the bag is is a very much a selling point, and they have it written as Canvas West Tech duffel bag. And then the product that was given to people that obviously super fans that haven't paid that much for this edition have been given this cheap, flimsy knockoff bag. So anyway, obviously, once his story came to light, everyone started losing their shit. Not only because of the fact that, sure, it's just a bag, right? It's just a bag. Baggate 2018. But it's the principle of the fact that they switched materials without telling everyone and thought it would be okay to send them this cheap, bag that wasn't what they promised everyone for their money. It's like anything that you buy and they say it's going to be a certain material, a certain type of product, and they send you a completely cheap version of it, and you've just spent $100.
You would send it back. Like, that's so dodgy.
Well, here's the second part. No refunds. They explicitly said no refunds. You can't send it back. Once the product is open, they deem that you're happy with it.
That would burn me, bro. If I bought that, I'd never buy it. I wouldn't touch a Bethesda thing ever again.
100%. So this is the problem. They've copped a lot of shit over the last week for this. So they answered to it with a tweet. Now I am kind of using Engadget here just to get the things. But here was Fallout's official Twitter, their first response to the disgruntled people that got the duffel bag. They write here, and I quote, "Unfortunately, due to unavailability of materials, we had to switch to a nylon carrying case in the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. We hope this doesn't prevent anyone from enjoying what we feel is one of our best collector's editions." So they said due to an unavailability of materials, they had to switch to a nylon carrying case instead of the specified canvas bag. But they didn't tell anyone. They just changed it and switched it.
Dude, that's such bullshit. Like, how can't you find canvas?
Canvas,
like,
exactly.
Just buy it, dude.
So
just buy it.
100%. So what a god awful first response. No apology.
They're making it sound like the Earth's run out of canvas.
Exactly. What a bullshit response.
Sorry, it's not as cheap as maybe your initial calculations, and your profit margins are not going to be as fat and as huge as you initially thought it was. But fuck, dude.
But
like
why
switching. Doing the bait and switch.
Exactly. Oof. A bait and switch. And that's what everyone's saying it is. And it's bad. So they went on to then, everyone obviously said that was some bullshit and not good enough. So they offered essentially anyone who bought the Power Armor Edition, they are granted 500 atoms, which is an in-game currency in Fallout 76. Turns out 500 atoms is worth $5 of in-game currency. $5.
Yikes.
Yeah, dude, have $5. Stop crying.
People made the joke that 500 atoms can barely buy you anything. So this can be used for cosmetics or anything in the game. Barely anything in the game can be bought with 500 atoms. Turns out a duffel bag in the game can't even be bought with 500 atoms. So you can't even buy a digital duffel bag with 500 atoms.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, so it gets even better. Turns out that earlier in the year when they were promoting the game, they had a few different events where they invited prominent kind of YouTubers and people that were in the gaming world to come and test the game and all this. And as a gift for these people that came and checked the game out, trying to lube them up for a good review, they gave them canvas backpacks for free when they came and checked the game out.
Like good canvas backpacks?
Yeah, good canvas backpacks. But yet they couldn't give canvas. But yet for paying customers,
ridiculous.
for paying customers, they couldn't give people that have actually given them money a canvas.
And how much
bag.
are collector's editions? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Yeah, this one was $200 American.
That's fucked, dude.
Yeah.
That's so expensive.
That's almost $300 here in Australia.
That's so
crazy
expensive.
Shit. Big
to get a
big
nylon
expense.
bag.
Obviously they were obviously kind of trying to rely on the fact that the helmet is pretty cool. But hey, if you're promoting it, literally says canvas duffel bag, and they've just gone with a nylon one. It's so bad.
I don't understand how companies don't understand that.
No,
your PR is almost one of your most valuable resources.
Yeah.
As soon as you are in bad standings with like your people, it's so hard to come back. You're like, fucked, dude.
Yeah,
because
100%.
people talk and people love to complain.
Oh yeah,
and people will just write up shitstorms on Twitter, and you'll be copying it for like at least 12 months. People don't forget.
No, 100%. And after such a shitty release of the game itself, adding this on top of it has absolutely fucked up Bethesda's goodwill. People are saying now that Bethesda really can't afford to bring out buggy games. Might have been a little bit endearing back in the day when, you know, games like Skyrim and Fallout 4 did come out and they were quite buggy, but people went, oh, that's just Bethesda. But now Bethesda has really gone fucked over a lot of people with some real, not only just the initial kind of product, but now how they've responded to it. And it's kind of gone to a point where now they've lost a lot of goodwill, and people now expect that the next thing they bring out is going to be a fully polished product, and that they're going to do right in the game community's eyes. It doesn't end there. It doesn't say it on here. I can't paraphrase this, but a few disgruntled people did actually send emails to Bethesda's, I guess, support. And got replies saying essentially that they straight up just weren't going to do anything about it. That is actually what they said in the email back. That they think it's a good.
Kid.
They said it's a great thing. We don't offer refunds, and we're not going to do anything about it. Those were actual responses. I wish I had all the other ones up, but they were really just we don't give a shit kind of responses back to these emails. So anyway, a big win for gamers. I think yesterday it was December 4th. Yesterday. Bethesda finally put a tweet out. This is from actual Bethesda support, verified on Twitter. They said, get this, we are finalizing manufacturing plans for replacement canvas bags for the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. If you purchased the Collector's Edition, please visit this link here and submit a ticket by January 31st, 2019. We'll arrange to send you a replacement as soon as the bags are ready. They gave in. After a week of an absolute shitstorm, turns out they're just getting the bags made. And people are saying, was that so hard to do, Bethesda? Was it so fucking hard to do?
Was it worth like losing your reputation over some fucking canvas bags?
And the thing is that now that they've said, hey, we're going to do it, we're going to make the canvas bags, we're going to send them out to you. Postage paid, all sorted. Here's your bloody canvas bag. We're going to do it right. Too late. Too fucking late. Should have done it a week ago. Shouldn't have even gotten to this point. How can you, luckily I've never been in a situation where I've bought a collector's edition, opened it up and gone, what the fuck is this? Sure, I've gotten a statue from one where I was kind of a bit like, this looks like trash, but it is what it is. It still was a statue. This is a real, it's a betrayal of trust for consumers. And I think Bethesda's going to have a bit of a struggle from here on out. It's been a big week of game developers really kind of fucking over people. But I think this was perhaps the story of the week that really just, I was watching updates every day on YouTube about this. And I just can't believe it came to that at all. I think they were really trying to cheap out and really, when it's your most valuable, like the fact that people bought a $200 collector's edition, clearly they're super fans, and you've just gone and fucked them all. So
yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
You're so right, dude. That's like the worst group of people to fuck off.
You haven't just fucked over your standard consumer that just gives it a try. You fucked over your core, biggest supporters. And good luck digging yourself out of that. You can give them their canvas bag. They're still going to give you a bit of shit for a while. But Bethesda, you got some work to do. So that is my news story of the week. A juicy one at that. But I did enjoy watching a bit of a shit show. Don't we all kind of enjoy a little bit of a shit show here and there? When we're not involved, you grab the popcorn and just kind of watch from the sidelines. But pretty crazy. Also a couple of little things to end the podcast. We've reached the tail end, but Games Awards, the Games Awards, not the Australian ones. I know there's some Australian Games Awards. That's a whole different topic that I don't want to kind of get into and burn bridges, but there's been a bit of controversy with that. But the actual Global Game Awards by I think Jeff Keighley, I think his name. He's been doing the Game Awards for the last couple of years. I think they have it on their own. It's live streamed on their own website as far as I'm aware, but I think you can watch it on Twitch. You can also co-stream it. You can stream it on your own channel while it's live and enjoy it with your own community, which is very exciting. I'm bummed out. Unfortunately, it's going to be it's going to be on the 6th, Thursday the 6th. I think maybe like sometime that evening for America. For us in Australia, I know for me, it'll be Friday the 7th in Sydney, about 12:30 p.m. I'm working. I'm going to miss it, but very exciting.
No. Are you shooting?
Yeah, I'm photographing a wedding, so I never do weddings on Fridays. Turns out this one on a Friday, so I feel very betrayed by my profession. I can't believe it. Worst timing ever, but I will definitely watch it after when I get home. I always watch it though when it's live. If I can, you know what I mean? Because it's not only a game award, where they essentially give awards for, best music, best blah blah blah, best sound actors, all this shit. And obviously they have the game of the year. They've got the nominations. I know Spider-Man and Red Dead are up for it. I think it'll be out of those two. Let's be real, it'll be Red Dead. But they do a lot of they showcase a lot of never before seen trailers. A few games usually get announced. They show off a few things for games that people are anticipating. So expect a few exciting things. There should be a bit of news coming out after it. So our next podcast might have a few things to discuss. The one thing I'm a bit disappointed about, and I'm kind of glad though that Naughty Dog did this. Obviously Naughty Dog, who's making Last of Us 2, very highly anticipated game. They've gone straight out and said on their Twitter that they won't have a presence at the Game Awards. So there's letting everyone know straight up. Really? Yeah, they straight away said because they know. Yeah, they said they're working very hard on The Last of Us 2, but they said at this time they don't have anything to show, because they know that a lot of people would have been speculating, oh, Naughty Dog will definitely show something of The Last of Us 2. It's been a while. I mean, E3 was a while ago now. But they've come straight and said, don't expect anything. We've got nothing to show. Just so no one's disappointed. But I'm sure, even though there's not going to be any more Last of Us, I know we're all waiting to see if the, what else they've got to show on that game. Because I'm ready. I'm excited. Last of Us 1 being one of my top favorite games of all time. But there should be a lot of exciting stuff coming out of it. So look out for that. And the last bit of news and exciting stuff is I've finally submitted the very first episode 1, and I'll be submitting all these other episodes to iTunes. So it should be up on iTunes within the week. Now, if anyone's asking, I know people like Dashi, God bless her from the old stream there, she's been begging and pleading, saying, Matt, when's the podcast going to be on iTunes? And I've said, soon. It's not as easy as uploading it to iTunes. You have to get basically a service that you upload your podcast to, and then from there you can then share your podcast to all these different platforms. It's not as easy as just uploading it to iTunes. iTunes has to manually check it with humans to make sure, I guess, you're not saying any terrible shit in your podcast.
Do they check every podcast?
As far as I'm aware, maybe once you've
dude, that's so much content.
Yeah. I think maybe once you've built your credibility as a podcaster, like probably Joe Rogan, I'm sure they're not checking his shit every week. But I think when you're a new podcast, they do check probably your first few ones to make sure you're not putting up the naughties, you know what I mean? So, so it might take a day or two or a couple of days for the first episode to go up. But it is now being reviewed by iTunes, and that will be the first place. Hopefully we'll eventually have it on Spotify, places like Castbox, which I use to listen to all my podcasts, SoundCloud, even all the places that you hope to be able to listen, Google Play Store, all that sort of stuff. Hopefully eventually you'll be able to listen to this wherever you want, and hopefully we'll tighten it up and get better over time with making this a great podcast to listen to and get some cool little news and fun little shits and shit to talk about. Clearly I'm a great podcast host, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to the journey. You know what I'm saying? That's what this kind of podcast is. But serious shits and shits, baby. But yeah, so it should be episode 5, we made it, but a lot of great things to come, and obviously I don't know if it's going to be before the new year or as soon as the new year starts, but we are going to be having the second episode a week. There'll be 2 episodes a week. This episode, which is the host episode, and then we'll be having a guest episode as well. I've already got a few people lined up. Well, now let's be real, we've only got one person, it's Bobby J, but I know there's a couple of people that will be keen to jump on.
Yeah, you got a few you can call on straight away.
Definitely. I think we'll have a fair few people to get on here, a couple of partnered streamers, a couple of streamers that have been around the block a few times. And hopefully even a couple of YouTubers, and maybe even some people left field in the gaming world that you might not expect. But should be a great listen. Probably something. Well, I hope it's something that you guys will be able to get something out of, especially if you're an aspiring streamer or a YouTuber. Hopefully listening to these people talk about their experience and just their passion for games. might inspire you guys and help you guys to grow in your own way. So that's something that I'm going to be getting started definitely in the coming weeks. And I'm very excited for. So many big things coming for the Cactus Cult podcast. Hopefully you guys stick with us. If you've been listening since episode 1, I appreciate you guys because goddamn, we've definitely wasted a lot of your time already. But it will get better. Trust me. I mean, 5 episodes deep, and let's be real, we're probably pushing like a day's worth of content already. So, nah, not really. But 3 hours is a long time. All right, guys. C. Joels and Ando, do you have anything else you'd like to say? I know I've talked a lot for the end of it.
No, I think this week will be an interesting week. More ninja tracks to come out. That should be fun.
I'm excited. Yeah, we've got to keep our finger on the pulse for that.
Yeah, so excited. Woo.
That's actually the most excited I think I've ever heard Ando. So I think genuinely think he is actually excited.
He is actually.
Yeah.
So more Ninja Works, Game Awards, Smash Bros releasing. This is still a lot more to come this week. A lot of exciting things. More Minecraft. Oh my god. More Red Dead for me. Oh god. Ando, when's your Minecraft song releasing? Isn't that kind of like the main thing if you're a true Minecraft?
He's already released it, dude, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Welcome to Mama.
Oh shit. Oh god damn. I didn't know it was Ando. Makes sense. The timeline does add up. But guys, thank you for joining me once again. Appreciate your company. And I think this one was a good one. I actually think this was my favorite one so far. And always a pleasure to have both C. Joels and Ando on the podcast as my co-hosts, as my equals. And if you want to find your boy MattyAP anywhere, just check twitch.tv/the MattyAP. I stream pretty much every day, Monday to Friday. Take the weekends off. Obviously, you can if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that sub button and like this podcast. And also just search me up on any social media like Twitter and Instagram. It's just the MattyAP. And thanks for watching and listening again. I appreciate everyone that's following us on this journey. Exciting things to come. And hopefully we'll catch you next week for another episode. See you then. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.